Eons ago, during the age of the Magi, the world was something other. Magic is all that there was and all that was needed. Legend states that a cataclysmic event brought a great frozen age to the world of Lacrin, and soon after, a new era dawned. Though they say the ancient magics of the Magi still lie buried and lost, scattered around the world, lying in wait for those with the courage to wield it to discover. Welcome to the world of Lacrin and the continent of Thelmecia. Noble knights, roaming orcs, mischievous goblins, and idyllic wondrous lands, just waiting to be explored. Now, a new peril aspires to plunge Thelmecia into despair once more, but not before a few unheard-of heroes take their chance at triumph. Welcome to Table Story, Darkfire.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the beginning of the stream. Tiger, it's the real thing.
He's not
it's
lying,
the real thing.
dude.
It's real. It's real. Look at this, Tiger. Look at that.
It is. It's real.
You remember him?
What is
He
that?
likes to bait us a lot. He likes to
Probably that you
pretend.
just randomly found that at like what was it, like at an old address or something?
No, I
How'd
got.
you finally get that?
Brutal Bry sent me one.
Oh, I thought we were just showing our t-shirts.
So
Hey,
I guess they had a bunch. I don't know. They had a spare one or something.
Sean, we're like,
Because Brutal Bry and Phil's Gaming, I guess, had a spare one or something, and they were like, "Do you want our spare one?" Is that how they speak in Indiana? Probably. Would you like our spare one?
That's pretty much
That's all right.
And
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
long A.
"Yes, please." If no one understands what this
spare
is,
one.
this is that's Tiger Ratter's face, but really it is his last character in the last campaign that I ran with him called Poo Poo Cakes. And he had a t-shirt in it.
What the hell? That's
cool.
actually sick.
It's dope, right? And I bought one, but it never got to my country. Because whatever the people, who was it distributing it, Tiger? Do you wanna?
That was DBH.
DBH. They never sent it to me for some reason.
Probably the UK Post. Somebody's
it would have
wearing
been.
it right now.
It would have possibly been them. Yeah, I don't want to be.
Just a fan, dude. Fan of Fracture Worlds for sure.
And
Stole
grab
it.
that.
Yeah.
Grab that. And yeah, but now represent my old campaign. I also have a poster for that. Anna made some posters for it. I'm gonna get it put in a frame. But don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that one poster's sick. I have that somewhere in here.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's your boy coming at you fresh, Pumpkinberry. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad.
Look, you thought you could throw me off, but
Yeah.
you didn't.
No, nothing.
Suck it.
Nothing throws you off. You got all that. You got all that spare time now that you're not running a game.
Wait, is it over? What?
Yeah,
So what?
it's
3 weeks.
Like, was it cool?
It was dope. Yeah.
No, it was horrible.
Oh no, it was the worst.
No, it
He
wasn't.
sucks at
Dope.
GMing. The game was awful. The production quality was like the worst we've ever done. Just don't, please. Okay, it was great,
Don't
John.
mention it.
It was so good. It literally put us to shame so
Yeah,
badly.
shamed us.
It was horrific.
Did you guys get rinned, or is that like, should I
We
just
got
go watch
rinned.
You probably want to watch it, but yeah, we got pretty rinned. We got pretty rinned.
That's
It was
awesome.
very good. It was very good. Why is my camera doing this? Hello? Okay, so how are you people doing in the chat? You guys doing all right in the chat? Good, great, good to hear it. Don't speak to me.
They didn't even answer yet. Give them a moment.
Yeah,
Brad.
well, we don't need to speak to them. We're better than them because we're Twitch streamers.
Oh man.
Like not.
It's not some sort of god complex.
It's not like it kind of sound like a god
What did he
complex,
say?
but-
Minor? I have a minor.
Minor. It's just a minor god
It's just a
complex.
minor god
Like,
complex.
These people who are watching us right now are they're just not as good as me. But
They're
I don't
just
mean
not.
it in a bad way, guys.
They're
Like,
just not.
they're just not as, you know.
I mean, let's just stop beating around the bush right now. They're all peasants.
They are
Yes.
all peasants.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what. If you would have said that, I
Good
would have been.
meme.
I would have felt.
I would have laughed if he said
Oh,
that.
if
You're
he had
like,
said
well, you
it,
treat your viewers like the peasants. That's
Yeah.
all you do. They'll love you. Peasants love the kings.
That's what Brad says all the time. Brad
Yeah.
would say that in an interview. He'd be like, "Yeah, all my everyone who
all I
watches
do.
me are all peasants."
All I do is just attack my chat constantly. But
He
like,
even attacks me, and I'm his best friend.
It actually gives me, what is that, secondhand embarrassment sometimes when you're meeting your chat. I'm like, oh God, oh God. And then I have to like
it,
step
it,
away.
it, kill,
Happy you're making Brad right now.
it kills.
So
He
happy.
loves it. He feeds
Yeah.
off that.
It kills Emma because she's like, they actually think you are like that. You don't understand. You have to tell them it's a joke when you say silly things afterwards. I'm
And
like,
then
I
he's
never
like,
do.
"It's not a joke."
I'm like, no. I play into it forever. The amount of misinformation out there just because of how I run my stream, horrific. But this is not my stream. Kind of is, but not really. Don't worry about it. Here I treat you with a modicum of respect. You're welcome. You're welcome. I like a god handing down an apple to the Garden of Eve. What is that? Americans? You gonna help me out here? No? All right. I don't understand.
Is that only an American thing? What?
I don't know. You guys read.
I don't even know what you're talking
What's
about.
that
if you-
book? You have that book that you read with the fucking X
The
on it?
Bible?
The Bible!
It's not an American only thing.
It's not? What?
I mean, I
Is
think it started over there. I think I'm pretty sure.
Wait, is that an American thing? No way. Don't even start this.
John, don't be gullible right now. I will backhand you.
I know.
I'm just gonna
Don't
get
let
dare
Brad pull you into his web,
How
John.
dare you, Brad? You're getting me, bro. I just got back from TwitchCon, so I'm still like so crazy.
Frazzled.
My mind is just crazy.
Too frazzled. See, that's not a good enough excuse. You should say you had to make grilled cheese for your son.
I
2
did have
seconds.
to make a grilled
Yeah.
cheese for my son.
Right, there
Have
you
you
go.
Finally, he finally is eating. It's still fake cheese because he's allergic to cheese, but dude, we made him a grilled cheese. He loves it. He goes crazy. He doesn't eat real. I mean, he does eat real food, but like watching a little 1-year-old eat a grilled cheese is the most fun,
Aw.
beautiful thing on the planet.
So when my neighbors that were below me, they had a kid when I was living there, and I was there for his first year birthday, and I got to take video and pictures of him taking like this little baby cake and just,
Yeah,
just like
into his face. He's
into
going.
his face. It was
Yeah.
really fantastic.
Oh.
I also have an anecdote about children.
Oh God.
Oh
let's-
God.
I
Hear
don't. I
Hold
don't.
on. Wait.
I don't. I've barely ever
I'm ready now.
interacted with a baby. My sister had a
Are
baby
children
recently.
only from America too?
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
God damn it, dude.
You're your American children.
Those,
American children.
those American halflings over there that you have, they're like small versions of you, right? I've never seen one before.
Is he back? That character back already?
Who was that character? That's like I have like 4
That's
voices.
like the guy like who's mean to Pumpkin on the last episode.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's back. Oh,
God, he was
you made
such a-
him into a main
But I
character
loved
for
him.
me. Thank you so much. It's how it goes. Sometimes you just write down a name. You're like, yeah, there's just God 3, and then eventually they become like the villain of the piece. Hey, he loves you though. He's sorting.
I love him.
He's sorting you
I
out
love
with a nice
Yeah.
a nice new outfit, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
I
well,
have no
Brushed
problem.
is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put my
Okay.
big ass Warforged hands and just squish them to the ground.
oof. Let's see how that goes down in the middle of a massive military
Hey,
state.
I have gotten arrested in one big city before in D&D. I'm looking to keep this on a trend.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say in real life. I thought that was gonna
Arrested
take
a
a very
couple
different turn.
It's okay. I have
Some
attacked the
of them are
police in real life. It'll go down
Well,
fine.
I have not been arrested since I've been an adult, so I'm just gonna keep.
An adult.
Yeah, I got arrested once when I was 14.
What'd you do?
Nice, dude.
I legitimately accidentally stole from Walmart and got caught.
That's
know,
like,
like-
the worst.
Well, you know when
That's
you
the
like use
worst.
something of someone else's, like maybe like you're a smoker and you use like a lighter and put it in your pocket.
Mhm.
Me and my friends went to a Walmart at like it was like 10 at night. He was 16, I was 14. He drove, and we were like walking around with like this bouncy ball, like just we were just fucking wasting time being kids. And I
Yeah.
was bouncing this ball, and I wasn't thinking, and I put it in my coat pocket. And when I went out, like this guy grabbed me, and he's like, "Don't move!" And I was like, I smoked at that point, but I was underage, and I had a pack of cigarettes, and I was like the cops were coming. I was like,
Oh, no. Oh, no.
cigarettes. Like, I threw them away in like the corner, and this guy came. He's like, "Those your cigarettes?" I'm like, "No."
Damn.
I got
What a
off
rebel, man.
This wasn't even on my record.
Absolute mad lad.
Mad lad.
I got pulled over once without a license, and somehow,
No.
yeah,
No.
Yeah. I was driving my friend to work and I didn't have a license, but and I got pulled over and somehow I was like, this is it, you know, because I don't have a license. And I think I had like a learner's permit that said very clearly, like, cannot be driving without somebody 18 or older. But somehow I got a ticket and he didn't say anything. He was just like, here you go. And I was like, cool, thanks.
Wow.
And that
He
was
just
it.
like,
Where did
he
you
just
live
like
at the time?
woke up that
Michigan.
day.
Hi, it's just like, g'day. It's all right. It's
Yeah.
driving you.
But I didn't have a license number even yet.
It's really
So,
weird.
Yeah, it was weird. So I obviously didn't pay it because I didn't have a license number. There was nothing attached. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, you should
It's
find
fine.
that cop and like give him $100.
Just be like, thank you.
That should be your life.
You saved my life.
You could have ruined my life.
Is that what you said, John?
What'd I say?
You get them an OtterBox, like the phone cases? Is that what you said?
$100. Or a bunch of Otter Pops, because Otter Pops are dope.
What the hell is an OtterPop?
Like the freeze, you like
The
freeze.
freeze pops.
Freeze pops.
Freeze pop.
Nope.
Remember that song?
They're
Freeze
basically
Pop?
No, you don't know what a freeze pop is, Tiger?
Only pops I know about are the push-up pops, and they're orange and they're
No,
Tiger,
the
Tiger.
red.
They're like, so they're straight up. They're like,
Ice
they're basically
with
like
sugar.
Kool-Aid frozen
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
in like a plastic container. It's like a
Other
long
names, Chili
plastic-
Willy's. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
Listen,
Chili
someday-
Willy.
Someday you'll grow up and you'll start eating not sugary and child food, okay,
I
John?
don't eat it anymore. I have a 1-year-old. He loves those things. They're good on his teeth.
Children. You go push-up pop still.
All right, yeah, whatever you say, okay, Tiger. I feel like if we open
Why is this going on me?
if we open Tiger's, we'd open Tiger's freezer and there'd just be nothing but Chili Willies in there.
You know what I miss actually? Gushers from the 90s.
I don't even-
Anybody
I
have
don't
the
even wanna
Gushers
know
candy?
What the fuck that is.
Dunkaroos, Gushers.
Oh God, Gushers was so good.
I
All right,
don't
sorry.
wanna-
We should probably play a
That
game.
That sounds terrible.
Not really. We still have 5 more minutes of normal talking.
Whack!
before
When
we
did you
start.
get arrested and what for? Tell us.
prostitution.
Hey!
No!
Actually?
Actual?
No.
Okay.
Come
I was like,
on.
ooh,
Actually?
story.
No.
No.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I got $100. Oh.
Nailed the voice, Tiger. That was solid.
Yeah, real good.
That was good.
Holy
Oh
shit.
God.
I'm gonna get
Well,
punched.
I got $100.
Mm, mm,
That's exactly what I sound like.
very nice. Okay.
I see you, Pumpkin Berry. I can already see it.
What? What is happening?
I don't know, man. Your show's getting overthrown.
It's been overthrown. All right. Oh God.
What happened?
Mr. Giggles.
Oh, okay. I
Sorry.
thought you just.
It's a
Re-
lie.
Who's that?
you just. I've never heard of Mr. Giggles. Sorry.
No idea. Never
No
heard
idea.
of them.
Welcome to the show, everybody. The chaos is over now.
Before we start, can I add one more thing of chaos?
I
Yeah.
did kill it.
Could I, when are you guys getting sub badges? What's going on with that? Fill me in.
Oh my God! You know what? I've just at this moment realized that we don't have them.
I've seen this star for so long. You know, I've been a sub for 2 months, and I really I want something fresh.
All right, Whack. Upload something now. Just go find a PNG of anything. Just find a PNG of anything. Okay. Upload it. We'll see. We'll
Should
see.
be dice.
Yeah, everyone's
1,
gonna do
2,
dice
3,
though, and
4.
it's so. I mean, come on. I think you
Pretty cliche. Should be a
Pretty-
table, to be honest.
Fine.
cliche. I think it should just be different versions of John Sandman's face.
What do you mean? A 3-month badge could be like a normal oak table. Then you get like a nice marble table for 6 months. Then at a year, you get like a throne kind of table.
Mahogany.
And then eventually you get the table with the sword in it.
Yeah.
Same.
Very
Love
good.
tables.
I don't know. I guess we'll get some. Okay, John. We'll try and get some for next week for you. Is that better?
Sure.
Yeah. That's the
Thanks.
best I can offer you. The best I can offer
Table
you
with the
is
sword
I'll
in
try.
it. It could be table swordy.
It just needs
Table
just
sword.
just a sword. And then at 1 year you get 2 swords. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is. 2 sub badges.
This
That's
is
it.
so simple.
You're damn lucky you even get there.
It just slowly spells out peasants. Small P&G, and it starts with a P in every year.
Eventually, there will be it's just like the unlimited monkeys with typewriters thing. Eventually, enough people will speak and have different sub badges that peasants will be spelled out naturally.
That's so good.
Anyway.
All right, I'm ready.
Table story Darkfire. Let's do it previously. Last time, you guys were traveling through the world, around the world, along the map. You traveled from
Yeah, thank you.
the town of the village of Drit. I shouldn't really call it a town. Maybe it was a town. I think it was a town, actually. Who knows? We never really saw it because it exploded in a huge ball of purple fire, and you guys went on your own little thing. You went on your own little journey. You went to some very strange place known as the Gate of Fire. You met something known as Hasmol, a big elemental looking thing that told you to go and investigate something that was trying to break through to this realm from somewhere else. And he said that you should go maybe start at Rosegard because there's a place of power either near or on the area where you guys have made your capital city. He didn't seem to understand it too well. Maybe because he is shackled to that location, and that's why he sent you out. So you pretty much did a big long travel across from Drit to Rosegard, which is the capital city here. Last week you avoided 3 Cyclopses. In character, you didn't know they were Cyclopses, but out of character, you knew that they were Cyclopses, which would have been an absolutely devastating combat. And then you traveled along the river to the city here of
That would have sucked.
Rosegard. It would have sucked. You would have died. You would have.
Yeah, we would have all
if
died.
if you'd have just tried to like swing swords. So you made it to Rosegard, which is the big capital city here, and it's a big old place. There's a lot of stuff here. It's one of, if not the biggest cities in the world, the entire world. You're kind of at the center of civilization, though relatively speaking, it's not massive. It's still incredibly large for the time in which you live. Very early civilization, and there's a lot of stuff here, but let's just stick to what happened with you guys. You arrived at the great big shining white walls of Rosegard, and as you were attempting to enter the gate, you were stopped and questioned by one of the guards. Turned out he was a noble-born guard in shining armor named Lieutenant William Boulderdown, and they ask questions of sort of suspicious-looking types quite often. You guys showed up kind of peppered with wounds and long travel and soot and blood and cut-up clothes and stuff, so he was curious as to who you were. You kind of got into a conversation with him, though, about the Autumn Festival, which happens in 2 days, and he said that they were down a man. Iridir stated that Drift was known as Drift the Cursebreaker, like a kind of like epic sword fighter in the land who survived not just the explosion at Drit, this recent attack, but also one from 5 years ago. Drift's hometown, Kilash, was destroyed, and that enticed the lieutenant to maybe put you forward as one of the 8 melee fighters in the competition in 2 days. He was super interested in you, super interested in getting Iridir to kind of announce you at the event as well. But he said that you can't look like that, so he said he'll put down some money for some clothes, and you need to go to J Crew Finery in High Fashion along the Wash, which is up here. The Wash is this kind of top area. I mean, in character, you probably don't really know much about this place, but this whole area...
Crew, right?
This whole area, yeah. You need to go and see specifically Jacqueline Crew. Her store is known as J Crew Finery in
Which
High
you
Fashion.
didn't do on purpose, correct?
I didn't do that on purpose, but now I understand the meme, and it's called J Crew. That's the name of the store. He also said that he would be happy to restring your loot. and that you needed to go and see Kethend at the Market Boutique, which is also along the Wash. So there's some like there's like a small noble market area along the Wash. There's a huge market area along here. And he didn't seem to like Rin. He wasn't very interested in Rin. He wasn't very interested in he wasn't very interested in our Warforged 19 either, and they were a little butthurt about it. But you all made it into the city, and pretty much that's it. Oh, and they also said that since the festival is coming up, most of the taverns and stuff in town are filled up, though the largest of the taverns may still have a room or two, which is known as the Ironwell Inn, which is here. So you guys came into town kind of on the left here at the West Gate, and he told you to just follow along the main road, and eventually you'll see the large, obvious inn. And we're just going to pick up where we left off, pretty much. You guys have stepped into town. This is a pretty big, bustling town. I think it's like midday-ish. Let me see what time it was when you guys left. Let's try and work out the time, because it's kind of important, since we have a time for when you need to. You've got 2 days. Well,
tomorrow, like, we have to meet me and
tomorrow. You have until tomorrow to go and get your clothes.
And we're having a meeting with them.
And then tomorrow midday, you are meeting with William Balderdown at the address that he gave you, which is basically just his estate.
Yeah, cool.
So let's see, midday. Oh yeah, so it's about midday. Two of you saw a big flying thing as well. It's a flying feathered serpent, and it gave you a kind of blessing. So remember that you have those extra, I think it's a D4, to basically any roll until, again, tomorrow at midday. So 2 things happen tomorrow at midday. Your Kotal's blessing runs out, and also you're meeting with William Balderdown at his estate, which is in here somewhere. I haven't marked it exactly on the map, but it's in this kind of area. He marked down the address for you. He wrote it down and gave it to you. And although you don't know where that is, that's where it is. So you step into this very large town, and again, you're on like a main road here. There's like, it's very wide. It would allow 2 carts to trundle down this road in particular. And most of the houses here actually look quite nice. You did notice that there was a slums area outside of the wall that seems to have bled out from the city. But the area that you're in at the moment has relatively decent houses. You're not quite in like the noble district, but you can see that this is sort of maybe the middle class area. It's not quite stately homes and super elegance, but most of the buildings look like they're kept well, and a lot of the buildings here are made of that kind of similar white stone. Since it's midday and it's autumn and it's relatively sunny, this is the type of place where in modern day you'd want sunglasses kind of thing, because everything's quite bright, and then the white walls, most of these timber framed white walls are like causing an even brighter area. And everywhere looks kind of nice though, and most of the people here look relatively okay. There's not like very many shifty types along this main road. You do see a couple of stores, a couple of places that look like you can pick up basics, food, bakeries, couple of sort of general stores, but you're very aware, because 19 let you know that there's a huge merchant area, and it doesn't look like this is the merchant district. It looks like you're kind of on the outside of the noble district on the west side of town. Other than that, you just see people, all shapes and sizes, moving up and down at different speeds. Some look like they're rushing, some look like they're not, some are carrying loads of things, some are on carts, some are tending to horses. Some of them are in that military dress with the kind of military garb, which looked a little like this guy. The red cape, thick armored pauldrons, they're policing. They're the guards as well in town, by the way. The military servers, town guard. There isn't like a separate thing. So, the 4 of you are in the town. You're heading along one of these main roads. For the most part, you have no idea where you're going, I don't think.
Yeah, I am a lost little kid. I'm so happy there right now.
Yeah, there's a lot here and a lot of people. moving about.
I think there's a Beauty and the Beast moment with me and Drift running around the town. What's this? What's this?
This is it. Yeah, dude, totally. Like
There goes the baker with his la 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
like
to,
grabbing
you have to
Drift
sing
by
now,
the
Euro.
shirt.
You have to, yeah.
What?
We're holding hands
singing
out, like
that, yeah,
spinning
like
around.
running
We're
along.
so happy, dude.
I'm like grabbing him by the shirt and like shaking him like, what's that? Oh, look at that. Oh my.
Man, oh man, I'm freaking out. Just shaking.
What's that smell?
Literally shaking. I want to try everything. I just want to try everything.
Ooh, what's that smell? Oh, it's a combination of delicious and horrid. I've never really experienced this before.
I think that's called manure.
That is manure? I've smelled manure before. That is something entirely different.
Well, you have to think
Oh.
there's farms all around the city. And you've got the city smell with the farm smell. It's a, you get the food with the manure smell. It's all just,
Oh,
But it smells so good.
well,
The manure?
I guess. Are we talking about the same thing? It smells delicious.
Like you
I've always-
probably pass a bakery and it smells good, and then a horse takes a shit, like a draft horse with a cart next to you.
I think
kinda thing. It's
Drift
like a
actually likes the smell of manure. Like,
pure
not kidding.
combination. Okay,
Just
Fine.
straight up.
you do whatever you want to do. Okay. Rin mercilessly snaps Kobold next, and you like the smell of shit. That's just fine by me.
I mean, wait. Out of
Whatever you
out of
want to do.
character-
Yeah.
Out of character, manure does not smell bad to me at all
Okay.
as a person.
All right.
Does it
That's
smell
fine,
bad to you?
dude? If you want to eat manure, that's fine.
I'm not gonna eat it. I'm just saying it doesn't smell that bad. Like there's like this,
confirmed John loves to eat manure.
If he eats manure,
don't like to eat.
that's
I
his,
would never
I mean, it's down.
eat
It's what you do in your own time. It's down to you. It's fine.
no one's
In and
judging.
out of character.
I mean, okay, listen. I know there's at least one person in this chat who doesn't mind the smell of horse manure. Who's like,
Alright. So, where do you guys want to go? Are you just kind of wandering down the street for now?
I think I would be. I'd be all confused and in wonderment. From
I'm full follow mode, so wherever anyone's telling us to go, I'm down.
Sure.
Can I roll a check to see how much of this city I would remember from when I was living here?
Yeah, give me a history check.
Let's see how much I remember. Why is it gonna be like a 2?
14 history. I feel like you know a decent amount, but I also feel like you probably don't have a lot of first-hand knowledge. You are from you woke up over here in the sort of military district. Just I feel like one day you were just walking along, being ordered about, maybe standing on watch. You're like post-war Warforged, and for the most part, you guys have been reduced to sort of endless sentry bots in and around a lot of the towns and cities in Thelmecia, including Leonardale in the north. So, because you're like perfect for it, and that's what they've chosen to make most of you do. The experience that you would have would be kind of waking up here, spending a little time with the military as they kind of acclimatize you and explain to you what's going on. You know, you've woken up, you need to chill out, don't worry, it's okay, you've been born, this is what you are, this is what's happened. Also, you are free. You're alive and you are free now. Go and do what you want. You're also welcome to stay here as long as you want. I feel like based on what you've explained and told me, one of the first things you did is wander out and then wander down to John's farm, which is down here. So your route, probably maybe you had a couple of days where you wandered around the town, but I don't think you would have really like learned anything. You wouldn't have taken too much in. This place is pretty huge. You probably wandered around until eventually you met either somebody from John's farm, maybe John himself, and then you would have learned about John's farm, which is essentially that he, a lot of his workforce is made up of homeless and vagrants, urchins. He sort of earns a decent wage because he's one of the closer farms to the actual merchant district, which is like this kind of area. And so he often takes in vagrants and urchins and offers them work on the farm because he's just got a huge farm and he needs hands, and there's your workforce. So you would have counted within that, and I don't think you probably would have been the very first of the Warforged that would have ever happened with him. So then you were put to work on the farm. And it sounds like you spent a decent amount of time with John and like no one else, and John on John's farm. So I think for the majority of because you were alive, you only woke up like a little over a month ago. So you maybe have a week in the military area, 3 weeks on John's farm, maybe going in and out of the merchant area. And then for some reason you jumped on a cart with stout boots and headed over to Drit, and that's where our story began. So that would be your general history. In terms of what you know, though, it's pretty decent. I feel like if you want just from now on, if you just ask me, what do I know about this? As long as it's not like a very specific or secret thing or something that you wouldn't know of via John's knowledge, you'll have knowledge of it, but maybe not first-hand knowledge, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, local knowledge is pretty good. First-hand knowledge of the farm and the merchant district. Everywhere else, probably you wouldn't have spent too much time over on this side of town. I don't see why you would have done. Yeah, just sort of hearsay. Mm-hmm. So you can just take that from now on with all of your roles. If you wanna just say, Brad, what do I know about this? I'll just tell you what, the general thing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I don't think you really have any idea.
No.
Like, you probably have about as much knowledge as you do out of character. Other than that, this is the capital, and it's huge, and maybe even bigger than you expected, and very, very well policed, militant, strong sort of show of force, army-wise. That's about it. You don't even know what's on this map. Like, this map is entirely meta knowledge for you, really, at this point.
Yeah, I'm. I think. Are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah, no, I just thought something was funny. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I'm gonna kind of like. I'm just gonna pause it to the group. Like, so where are we going? Are we going to look around the entire city?
I'm okay with that.
Well, I would like a change of clothes. I'm filthy. And I mean, I would love to wander around the city with you guys, but maybe we should not look like walking disasters covered in blood and shit.
I could probably still get you some clothes if we were to walk a decent ways to the farm I was speaking of, but it's a little bit of a walk.
I don't mind a walk.
I'm fine, buying something from the merchant here. I don't want to feel indebted to someone I don't know.
Don't be indebted to someone you don't know. It's not how it works, John.
Well, if we, what about that fellow that the person at the gate mentioned?
Oh
Boulder
yeah.
Downs, he mentioned that we would be able to obtain some clothing.
Lieutenant William Boulderdown mentioned something.
Yes,
Yes.
he said that we're gonna have clothes waiting for us, or
He said we could visit this person by the name of Jacqueline Crew. And that
Maybe we
would
should
be
do
able to
that.
get some clothing.
Would I have any
If
idea?
he's paying for it, I don't see why we wouldn't.
Sorry.
Okay.
Would I know where that's at, Brad?
Probably not. I don't see why you would ever have interacted with this
Brad,
specific area.
Did they overhear that he was only covering our tabs?
I don't know.
Like, did we overhear that even? Do we even know that?
I don't think they were being particularly secretive in their
Yeah, they were.
conversations.
Yeah, they were being
So,
very.
I think it's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
If you were listening, you probably would have heard it. It wasn't like they were like whispering it.
Okay. I mean, I can use some of my gold to.
Oh no, it's fine. I can buy my own clothes. But tell you what, why don't we go get the curse breaker fitted out in the best clothes that we can find, and then we'll go shopping for our clothes.
Yeah.
Perhaps something brightly colored.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see me
Embroidery.
on the battlefield.
Yes.
And we need to get my sculpture.
Maybe a hat.
Lieutenant hat.
I don't know. What kind of hats are there?
Is it gonna be bright?
With a feather in it?
Oh, it better be.
I'm down. Let's go. Where should we go to the place that he told us? Or somewhere?
Well,
I'm gonna walk up to somebody like on the street, just like I literally don't understand the disparity between these people.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna kind of go up to anybody and
Sure.
and I'm going to just approach like the first person that's, you know.
Yeah, there's like a human woman walking past you. She's kind of got like greasy overalls on, and she's carrying like a box, and she's just walking past, and then you immediately.
Excuse me. I'm terribly sorry to
Yes?
bother you.
What?
You see, we are new in town, and we were looking to get some new clothing, and someone mentioned to us a place owned by someone named Jacqueline Crew. Do you happen to know where that might be?
She looks at you like, well, yes, of course, because you look disgusting. It's along the wash. There's a small market, and she kind of points northwards. Like, I'd imagine you guys are kind of like here, kind of thing. She like points over here, this direction. She says, if you go up to the river, there's a waterfront, and a lot of the boutiques are along there. You'll see a small market area. There's a lot of. It's very expensive, though. You really should consider the price.
Oh, thank you very much. I say, do I give her something? Is that custom?
She's already like turning around and walking away, kind of thing. Like just.
Do I give her?
Thank you.
She's gone. There's loads of people going back and forth.
I've heard of this place before. I never went there, but it is, from what I understand, quite expensive. But what I'm more curious about is, I've always wondered what kind of clothes they have there. I don't wear clothes, so I've always been
me
there.
either.
Maybe we can get you a hat as well.
A hat?
Yes. We should all get matching hats.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yes.
Because you guys are gonna be on my team. You're gonna be rooting for me. And if we all have matching hats, they're gonna know we're friends.
I have a very large head. I don't know if you have it.
We'll make one. I'll make one. I'll use my gold and make you a hat.
Oh, maybe.
I think Lieutenant Boulderdown will be paying for our hats.
Even better. Let's go. Did you find out, Iro?
Oh yes, it's over by some place called the Wash, over in that direction.
Now, can I just make a suggestion, a minor suggestion, that maybe we get not so expensive clothes at first, wash up, and then go to this Jacqueline Cruz place? Because I think that she'll be much more willing to believe that we are all heroes getting ready for a tournament if we're clean.
Well, maybe we can wash up in that wash that they talked about.
Yeah, they said it was by a wash, so we could just, go to the wash up, and then go.
The river's not far from here.
Is it some sort of? It's a public wash of some kind.
There's a river.
Oh, well, are we allowed to bathe in there?
I don't think you normally bathe in the city river.
Well,
Is there another river we're supposed to bathe in?
I'll go in any river, to be honest.
I think you bathe in inns, don't you?
come, I'll take you to the river. I know how to get there from here.
Oh, we're not bathing in the river.
You need to go to an
Diseases
inn to
and-
bathe?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Fancy.
I mean, I don't spend a lot of time in cities, but I know that much.
I'm gonna stop someone on the street, Brad, real quick. Just like anyone. Excuse me, sir? Ma'am?
Yeah, a man just stops and turns to you, quite young looking, maybe your age. Yeah?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Quick question for you. How
Right.
much does it cost to stay at the inn? Do you know?
Wonder if he would know. This boy says, I don't really know. I've not actually ever been there. Probably, I'd say nine gold.
What? I look back at the group, sort of like,
Can I roll an insight check?
we got screwed
You
over.
can give me an insight check with disadvantage because none of you know anything about gold
Okay.
for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or are you just seeing if he's just you insight checking?
I'm
him?
trying to see if like he actually looks like he knows what he's talking about.
All right.
Because yeah,
You don't
I'm
need
shocked.
disadvantage then. Just roll.
'Cause we have 25. We got 25 for that crazy mission.
18. This kid doesn't really have any idea. He just said a number.
Oh, thank you so much. What's your name?
My name's Janshai.
Janshai.
Yes.
Well, Janshai, I'll have you know that tonight over at the Iron Well Inn, if you're looking for a good show, I
Right.
recommend bring you and all of your friends to come by because there will be something quite spectacular there.
Right. Well, there usually is. I mean, I don't often really go to the tavern, but if you say so,
You should definitely go.
Right. Okay.
See you there.
Okay.
Give him a big smile.
Is that all?
Covered in dirt and slime.
One last question before you
And
go.
guts, guys.
Can we
Guts,
bathe
go
in
bathe.
the river?
Can you bathe in the
Oh.
river? Well, suppose so. Yes.
Will we get in trouble?
Well, I don't think you'd get in trouble. It just doesn't. It just seems a little
Is there
odd.
another place we should do that? Is there
Well,
some sort of?
Most people just bathe at the inns or at their homes. We have an
Hey,
aqueduct
you were
in
saying-
the city. We have
Thanks,
a-
Janshai.
Okay. Right. Are you new
All
here?
right, well, we'll see you there tonight.
Oh.
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Do you-
Vote for me. Well, not vote, but root
Cheer.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheer for me. Cheer for me in the
Tonight?
upcoming fight tomorrow.
Upcoming fight tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Who are you
It's
fighting?
in 2 days.
In
2 days.
2 days.
What?
He's in the tournament.
You're
My
in the
name's
tournament?
Drift.
This is Drift, the curse
Drift.
breaker.
Drift the
The
curse
curse
breaker.
breaker.
I've never heard of you. You're in the tournament?
I start to play like a little riff like on my lute.
And as he's playing, I just start telling him the story. You see, I started as a young nobody, and slowly I've built up amongst the ranks of many people, and I was chosen. Fate, maybe. The gods, maybe. Who knows? But Drift is here to stay, and I will be the one breaking the curse in 2 days.
Give me a charisma check or a performance check. Up to you. Performance, I guess.
Would he get advantage since I'm assisting him,
No.
I'm helping him?
No, I didn't want to give me that.
10. The kid is kind of like, right. Yeah, I didn't know that you were going to be in it. They normally have knights and, like famed warriors. I've never heard of you, but that's I didn't hear of the one from Lenadale either, so that's very cool. Okay.
The one from Lenadale?
Yes. They've got almost all of the fighters now. You can find out all of their names. The one from
gonna bring
Lenadale
them
is
all
called
down.
Owen of the Snow. Yes, they say he fights with one hand behind his back.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Chump change.
Well, I don't think he's going to be any match for Godfrey. Nobody is.
Wait, who's Godfrey?
Godfrey the Gladiator. He's won like 6 years in a row. He's huge. Nobody can defeat him. His eyes are bright red.
How does he fight?
He's just very big, and the kid kind of looks over at 19 and says, yes, he's probably about as big as him, maybe wider. He's not a warforged, though. He's a human, perhaps? Nobody really knows. Under all that
Bigger than
armor.
19?
I would say yes. He'd give you a run for your money.
Well, luckily, Drift is not afraid of anything.
Are you
right,
really
Drift?
in it? Are you really in it?
He is.
He's
For
scared
real?
of treasure chests.
He's in
Yeah,
it
I'm
to
in it.
win it.
Wow.
I
That's-
think he's scared of treasure chests, if I recall.
I'm not scared of anything.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, I'll be rooting for you, I suppose. It's nice to meet you. I hope you
Pleasure
win.
meeting you.
Did you cry? You were scared.
I didn't cry. I'd never cried. Thank you so much. You have a great day, sir.
Okay,
Oh,
well, have a
very
nice
well.
And don't
bath.
forget, curse the drift breaker.
Curse the drift breaker.
the curse
Drift
breaker.
the curse breaker.
Curse breaker. I'm Drift the curse breaker.
Drift the curse breaker. Right. Yes, and you're definitely in it.
Yes.
I promise.
You promise.
Yes.
All right. Okay. He kind of. Well, have a wonderful day and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
He looks you all over. His eyes settle on any weapons that you have and stuff, but he still like looks a little confused and unsure. And then he just runs off. And he's gone. And you guys want to head along the road and up, or are you heading to the inn? What was the plan here? Because you like, although this map is not really like to scale or whatever, but there's plenty of like roads and little alleyways and stuff that lead you upwards in the direction that the woman pointed. You also know that the river is that way because it's huge.
So perhaps we should go to this inn and see if we can bathe there instead of the river.
Yes, and I think that if I'm correct, maybe we'll be able to sleep there for free because you can perform, right? You can perform.
Oh, I wouldn't worry much about that. I'll take care of that.
And even if not, I'm sure Boulder Down would foot the bill for you, for his champion anyway.
Very true.
Didn't you?
Very true.
I swear that you were scared of boxes.
19, I'm not scared of anything. I'm Drift the Curse Breaker, okay?
You are Drift the Curse Breaker, and you're gonna do great.
Thank you, Rin.
I would
All right.
like Brad to see if on the walk to the inn there are any things that look like treasure chests.
You dickheads.
God damn it.
Let's find out. Give me a perception check.
Please fail. I don't want the PTSD moments.
25.
Oh my god.
You know what?
Oh my god.
We're gonna walk by. Can I just say
There
this,
is
Brad?
a
I assume
box
we're gonna
shop.
Walk by a treasure chest store,
Dude,
right?
yeah, it's just a box shop. It's a dude who makes boxes, lock boxes,
What the
safes.
hell is there's a name
Um,
for it for the medieval
Box
people
maker?
who did that. No, there's a it starts with T, I think.
Box maker.
I don't know.
As
My
we're
knowledge
walking-
is really poor for a DM, to be honest. You should really, if you're going to be a DM one day, if you're into like medieval stuff, you're going to make the best
Cooper.
DM ever.
A Cooper.
A Cooper.
Oh yeah, it's a Cooper.
Oh, I thought that was a barrel person.
They do make barrels.
All
but
right,
I'm
there's
assuming they make
barrels
things.
and there's boxes that sit outside of one of these stores. It's a really it's a very small looking little place with a it doesn't even have a window, it just has a door. But there are a bunch of boxes on the outside, and there's a little sign that says Tristan's Cooper Shop.
As we walk by, oh, Drift,
Yeah?
come with me real quick. I want to stop into this store real quick, if that's all right. Just a moment. It'll only take a matter of seconds. I just want to. They had a box here I was looking at about 2 weeks ago before I met with you, and I'm just curious if maybe they still have it. Possibly.
And as literally because I'm talking to 19 over here, as I literally turn towards the store, Drift just goes, nope, and walks fast down the street, like gone.
I nudged Rin a little too hard. I nudged Rin just a little too hard. I knew he was scared of him, and I nudged Hero too.
That was good. That was funny.
We should probably catch up with him.
Your sense of humor is getting better, 19.
19. I feel like you're probably the first one to notice the tavern as well, since for some reason your eyes are bright orange and able to see everything today.
Laser beams.
You have those laser beams going, and you can see the Ironwell Inn. It's very obvious compared to most of the other buildings here. It's completely set apart. It's just off of the road. You can see kind of like an open plan area around one of the canals where a lot of people are just sat around on these like tables outside with drinks and food. And then there's just this 3-story, completely detached, stone-walled, massive structure compared to like everything else here. It looks like they've put a lot of effort into the masonry of this building. With several entrance points around the bottom floor, and it has all these stained glass windows and fanciful kind of decorations across the walls and along the like tapestries, and there's various signs that indicate that it's an inn. You can see what looks like a main entranceway along the road that says Ironwell Inn printed kind of along one of the walls. or painted along one of the walls. And yeah, it's super busy though. Like the street outside is filled with just a cacophony of strange languages and people of all shapes and sizes coming and going through the various open doors that are there, because it's festival season, so it's like super busy. Even on like this would be what would essentially be like a weekday kind of thing, and it looks like as busy as it would be on any other like busy weekend day. You'd expect an inn to be super packed out with everybody on their day off. And yeah, like it's really obvious. Like instantly, you see it above all the others, and then as you guys walk down the street a little further, you can very obviously make out the Ironwell Inn. And you maybe will have noticed like a couple of other smaller-looking inns along the way, but this one is most certainly large and obvious, and it's the one that they told you to go to. So, you guys heading in there?
Yes.
Just trundling in?
Yeah. I'm following you.
I'll let Euro go first. Yeah.
I'm actually not going first. Like I'm kind of staring up at the place. Like I'm really taking it all in. This is one of the fabled inns that I've heard so much about. So I'm sort of taking it all in, and I'm looking all around and appreciating every square inch of this place before I walk in.
Yeah, again, it's a completely different looking building to some of the others. Architecturally, it looks kind of newer than some of the other buildings that you've seen, and also it's the upkeep on it is perfect. Like it looks like it was painted yesterday. What is happening here? All right, I'm not even going to repeat what it says in the chat.
I mean, like I've seen the joke a bajillion times.
It's not even.
The fact that it's like
It's not even a thing.
It's got PB so bad. Like I just.
It's not even a thing. So as you guys head in to the or head up to the inn, again, it's pretty difficult to kind of to get in. Weirdly enough, there's so many people outside the inn that you're having to push past a lot of them, and squeeze through, find your own little like pathways through the main doors and into the actual inn itself. Inside, it's again like super fanciful. It's like it's been made to kind of be somewhat flashy. There's a very, very large bar on the back wall. Then there's all of these different entranceways and large open stained glass windows. And the place is packed. Like
Stained glass windows?
It's rare. The place is completely packed out. Every chair, every stall is taken. And for the most part, people are kind of standing around, filling up every square inch of this place. There's a few things going on in here. You can see that the bar staff are kind of running up and down. They tend to have smiles on their faces, though. Most of the people look relatively joyful in here and kind of having fun. It doesn't look too shady. A lot of people look like travelers, kind of like you. Dirty boots, or like strange-looking clothes, like they might be from somewhere further away. And yeah, there's a few people playing Eye of the Marmot in the corner, throwing darts at a wall. But for the most part, just a very, very packed out bottom floor. There's a couple of sets of stairs at the back on either side of the bar as well that seem to lead up to what would presumably be the beds in the inn part of the building. You guys just pushing through to the bar, or are you doing anything crazy while you're in here? I never trust that you're going to just stab someone, to be honest, which is why I ask. I stab the nearest tiefling.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa!
I was taking my time outside for sure, so I probably wouldn't be the first one in.
I don't think they're gonna have room. Look at how packed this is.
It's awesome.
Well, if we have the curse breaker with us, they would have gotten word from the gods, wouldn't they have written?
Maybe.
Do you think I should go talk to him?
Yeah, lead the way. I'll follow behind you. I'll make sure I can see over everybody in here. I'll make sure we get to the bar. Just walk in front of me, and I'll say excuse me to everyone as we walk by. Sound good?
Okay.
That sounds great. Eero?
Excuse me.
Gonna look for Eero.
Excuse me.
Sorry about that.
There's like plenty of people that are just expecting this to happen. Like no one seems to be too pissed as you're pushing through the various different people in here, and some of them are just as large as you. There's a couple of Goliaths that you have to kind of squeeze past, maybe a half orc, and these are like big people, and then you stumble over a gnome and then a halfling as they look up at you and raise their glass. Oh, okay, vampire. A little gnome runs through someone's legs. You guys push through to the bar, you said? Did you say?
Yeah, unless there's like a front desk.
I assume
No.
like
There's
bar
just
in front
the
desk
bar
and
looks like the only place to get somebody.
Order anything.
Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to work out why my computer chooses to do this to me every week. I feel like it doesn't like doing the stream and have all these millions of things open. I wonder why. So you head over to the bar, and who's flagging down the nearest bar staff member?
I think I would.
Yeah, the smallest member of the group. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get up on the chair.
Stand up. There is no chair. They're all taken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get up on 19 a little bit. I'm gonna have 19 just like sort of hoist me up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
No one is looking at you.
excuse us. And I hit on the table.
Yeah. The nearest person to you kind of turns around, and it's a relatively, they're kind of hard to make out in terms of age sometimes, elves, but she looks relatively old. An elven woman turns to you, and you said you hit the bar?
Yeah, like more of like a get in
a
attention
tap?
path. Yeah. Not
And-
like a smash through it or anything like that.
Yeah. All right.
Roll. They roll.
Okay. She's like handing two tankards over to two people a little further down from where you are, and she turns and says, yes, just 1 minute. And she grabs a couple of coins off of them, stuffs them into a pouch on her front, and comes over to you and says, yes, what can I get you, love? Oh, she looks up. You're on his shoulders or whatever, right?
Yeah. Hey, sorry about that.
Right.
How do we go about getting a room here?
Oh, a room? Oh no, we're fully booked. We haven't had a room for a long time.
Cursebreaker.
Yeah, we were told that the Cursebreaker would have a room from, what was the god's name? Drift.
Lieutenant Boulderdown?
Yeah, Boulder Down said we might have a room reserved.
Curse.
I look over at the group because I'm a little scared that we're.
Yeah, I'm not there.
I know, Eero's not here. But I'm just talking the rest of the group.
I'll slide forward a little bit and I'll say he's competing in the tournament, so.
Oh, well, and she just looks down at the Warforged with the great sword, and she's like, "Oh, Warforged. I don't remember them ever entering one of."
No, me, ma'am. And I'm up on his shoulders.
Oh, you're one of the 8.
Yes, Drift Cursebreaker. It's a pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
Okay, all right. What can I get you? What is it? A drink?
No,
No,
we need a room.
we
Listen,
weren't kidding.
I'll give you a drink. You can share it amongst you, okay? And then you can leave.
No, he doesn't drink. He can't even do that. That doesn't even function with him. I'm being serious.
Come on, I've been working here for a long time. I don't need to be
I slammed down 2
Grifted.
gold on the table.
2 gold.
2 full gold, yeah. Just and I go,
God damn.
just listen to us. We're
What?
gonna take a moment.
Right.
Do you have any rooms for Drift Cursebreaker and company? Truly. And then I can I use like, what's it called, Brad, on this one?
Patient?
Intimidation?
Not
It's not intimidation.
God.
Persuasion.
persuasion.
Persuasion or charm.
You can roll me a persuasion check, sure.
Right.
Why not?
Let's have some fun, right?
Did you take that money, by the way?
She just looked at it. She doesn't know what you're trying to buy yet. 14 is not quite enough, but she looks at you for a little while longer and says, okay, hang on. And she turns around and she heads away from where you guys are for a moment and starts moving along the bar. And then she grabs a piece of parchment and she brings it back and unfurls it in front of you and says, "No, you're not one of the contestants that we have written down, though. We got given this just in case people ask." And she turns it around to you and it kind of looks a little something like this. Now, this is just me grabbing a screen grab from my notes, but these are the names that are written on the melee contestants. It says Sir Sieg, then 2 blank spots, Walter the Red, Owen of the Snow, the Tower, Godfrey, and Muriel the Silence. She points at the 2 blank spots and says, "So you're telling me that you're one of these?"
Yes. It should update.
He's one of the blank spots. Like we just got recruited right at the gate.
So you're,
Yes.
but if
And
you're
we're very
one of
tired.
these, why would you need a room here?
Well, that's actually
It's not
what
the
was.
best in the entire place.
Well, no.
That's what we were told.
I mean, it is sort of, but not for. These are all, and she points at the other names. These are all nobility or something of the like. They're sponsored. They have money. You could get a room at the palace. If you were really in the contest, you understand. Now, I think you might be from out of town. You look like you've been traveling a while, and you look like you need a drink. And I'm happy to give you a drink. We don't have any rooms.
I slide my hand under and take my money back.
She watches it go. She says, unless I see your name written down and you can prove it, they've not updated this, and I'm sorry, son, I really don't believe that you're actually going to be competing in the tournament.
How can I prove it to you?
No, it's okay. Let's go get a room somewhere else.
So, while this is going on, Brad, I probably would have come in. And is there somebody playing music, or is there somebody that's on stage or anything? Like, do they have a stage here?
Ignoring the background song that is just playing just because I don't have control over it, there isn't anybody playing music, no.
Okay.
But there is a stage. And a piano in one corner.
What I want to do is I want to sort of like look around and gauge the audience that's there. Like the people that are there, I'm trying to see what is the best material I can throw at these guys. Like what my audience is. What are my demographics right now?
Give me an insight check.
That's awesome.
20.
These are mostly traveling folk or people that have come from afar to come and watch this festival. You can tell that a lot of them probably aren't traveling in the same way that you are, kind of just on the road killing shit. They probably came by like carriage and had some sort of armed escort or something like that. There is ways to travel. If you're a super noble, you can sometimes travel by boat down the river, but none of these guys look like they're too rich, but they also don't look like they don't look like your sort of rough and ready fighter types or anything like that. They just look like people who are maybe a little nomadic. You can sort of tell by looking around the room that they're not really from this part of the world because of their clothing. A lot of them are wearing kind of strange, lavish outfits. Many of them are wearing clothes that look, and I think because you've been there, you'd recognize that the sort of Lenadale-looking northern folk. They tend to wear more flourished robes. A lot of them wear things like sashes, and like the men wear kind of like kilts, but just they're normally like one block color, which makes it sound like a dress kind of thing. And they have like a lot of these folk look like they're from the north, like they've traveled from Lenadale, and they're most of the people here look like they're not really from town. Anybody who does look like they're from town is wearing just your basic kind of tunic and slacks with some boots. But you can tell that a lot of people here are from out of town, and of those people, the majority look like they're from the north, as in they're from the other country here. There's two countries. There's Rosegard, which is the south where you are, and Lenadel, which is the north on the continent of Thelmecia. So a lot of these guys look like they're from Lenadel, pretty much, to be simplistic. And also a lot of them look like they're travelers, and like they live on the road maybe, and they've come here to, they just go from place to place, somewhere fun, something fun to do.
Okay. Before I came in, I would have cast Disguise Self on me.
Okay.
I would have made myself look like an extremely well-dressed, sort of looking at the sort of fancier clothes of the people that we passed by on the street, maybe taking elements from those people here and there. The people that sort of looked clean and with finery and such like that. And I would, I sort of walk up to the stage in just directly there, like after I've kind of scanned the crowd and whatnot. And I say, "Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Oh.
If but for a moment, I might capture your attention from your drink and from your dinner or lunch this evening."
About 5 people that are right next to you look up. For the most part, people don't really look at you yet. They seem to be like involved in their own conversations.
Yeah, I start to lightly play the lute, a sort of adventurous kind of, like a sort of upbeat, like adventurous kind of song. And I say, "It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Here in the Ironwell Inn. I would hopefully capture your attention and perhaps tell you a story, if you would have me." And I cast Minor Illusion, and I make like a sort of display of like swirling lights and things appear behind me. Start to almost like the dancing light spell, but an illusion behind me, like just kind of swirling about. And I say, "My name is Iro, and I am here with some lovely friends this evening." Is it evening or is it day or?
I duck.
It's like midday.
It's midday then. Okay, I say midday. And I say, "We have traveled far and wide. We have encountered things that would make you cry. We have traveled here to Rosegard to introduce you to a certain person, a very special person." And I cast my minor illusion so that the lights sort of start to swirl about Drift's head. And I said, "The curse breaker." And I like, I play the lute very quickly. "Drift curse breaker."
I start getting into this too, and I just look very intense.
Like, as soon as you begin, by the way, and you stand up and you start playing the lute and stuff, the woman that was dealing with you guys at the bar just immediately turns to watch. And she's one of the 5 that were interested in you immediately. He starts telling his story, and she at one point during it, for sure, she turns and says, "I don't know if you've ever heard of the god Mesilla. She's an elven god of bards, and I think she might have sent him. I've been looking for a bard all day. Right, let's go." And then you start doing the stuff about him, and she, like, her jaw probably goes slack for a bit, and she's just like, "Oh, Wait. Hang on. And then she carries on listening to what you have to say, but you get into it. I mean, by now, by the way, a bunch of people are really interested in what is going on. Give me a performance check.
Oh
Sure.
my god. Please.
That's insight.
It's a 10.
Oh, sorry, that just updated for me. 10. Bunch of people are interested. Drift, you become Drift the Curse Breaker. There's a few people that are like kind of watching intently. There's a few people that are very interested, and the younger folk seem to be like, wow, this is awesome. There's a few of the older folk that don't seem to be too interested. The barmaid at first was like, yes, and then she's like, oh, and she kind of turns and she's watching you, Drift, as you start to get into this thing, and she crosses her arms.
If I notice the crowd kind of doing that, I'm actually going to use my Mantle of Inspiration.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to spend a bardic inspiration to do this.
Yeah.
I'll spam it in the chat. Yeah, so I weave a song of fey magic that imbues my allies with vigor and speed. As a bonus action, you expend one use of your bardic inspiration to grant yourself a wondrous appearance. When you do so, choose a number of creatures that you can see and equal to a number equal to my charisma modifier, and each of them gains temporary hit points. So this kind of like golden glow like shines over me, and you can see like the glow sort of start to spill outwards like onto the ground, and starts to travel onto the ground, starts to flow over towards Drift, starting to kind of illuminate him.
Who is fully standing on 19 now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool performance, and a lot of people are really interested, and then this extra magical entertainment begins, and then people are clapping, and it's yeah, it's very good. There's a couple of people that are just like, who's Drift the Curse Breaker? I ain't never heard of him. No, me neither, just go with it. I mean, I ain't heard most people in stories of you, and then, like that kind of thing. The barmaid is just kind of like half very interested and half just like, what the? She sort of stops and shakes her head and says, right, you've gone to a lot of effort, and you needn't, quite frankly. I don't know why you're trying to convince me that you're in the tournament. That's not going to get you a room, but do you know him?
Yes.
She's pointing at Iridir, by the way. not at you. You do. That's your friend,
Yes.
right? So what's the plan here?
What do you mean? What's the plan
I'm
here?
still like rambling like in the background, like Drift.
You're trying to convince
And
me that
I'm
he's in the
still just
tournament
making-
so that you get a room, right? Listen, I'll give him a room. I've got one room, and I've been saving it.
Wait, you will? And I stopped doing my poses.
Yes, but you have to convince him to play his lute twice a day, lunchtime, nightfall, at least an hour.
And you're willing to offer him a room and payment, I would hope.
The room is payment. Look at this place.
Okay.
It's festival season. I've hiked up the prices. It's 10 gold a night to stay here.
He'll do it.
No, hold on.
Okay.
No.
Let's not speak for Eero.
You just hear me in
He'll
the
do it.
background, and that's when Drift jumped forth, and like I'm just regaling this.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that are interested now as well. And there's a lot of people that are eating their lunch since it's lunchtime, so they're just like, oh, great. They're eating their
I think I'm doing.
Rabbit.
I'm trying to mimic like the Queen like Flash Gordon song. I think that's what I'm trying. Drift, he'll save every one of us.
Da-da-da, and they're singing along, Drift. So behind you there's all this going off, and it's just getting more and more people into it, and she's kind of just like looking you all over. She says, listen, do you want the room or not?
Yes, he'll do it. Yeah, he'll do
Alright.
it.
He'll do it.
disagree.
I
No.
mean, and she looks at 19, and then she looks back and she says, it is only a single room though.
It's not about the single room. It's about if you want us to stay here, you're going to have to pay our man. 10 gold a night isn't worth what he is worth.
All right. Well then, I suppose.
He's worth much more than that.
He is quite good. I mean, does he
How
only
about
sing
you
about?
pay us?
I'm standing on top of the table, like closest to the stage, and I'm like, you say it.
Drift! Ah!
How about
She's,
you pay us to stay here, and I'll speak with him about being able to play here for these hours. What you asked for? What? 2 days worth, 2 times a day, 4 hours, and you're going to give us the room. I'd say that's worth at least 25 gold to him, most likely.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, pull this off.
An 8. Iridate only rolled a 10 on his performance. The Mantle of Inspiration made it a lot better. But she's kind of like, well,
How about we
need
let
a
him do the
bard,
talking
but-
then? He's done. Maybe we let him talk for himself. What do you two say?
I think he'll do it.
listen,
I also think he'll do it.
she pulls a key out, and it's a very large iron key, and there's a big red fish
Rin will
painted
take
on
the
it.
key.
And she says she holds
Yeah.
it. She holds it up above you
Yeah.
first and says,
What the fuck?
"Listen, you can have the room for 3 nights until the festival's done. As long as he plays twice a day, that's the deal. Take it or leave it."
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
She gives
Great
you the,
deal.
She gives you the
Take-
key.
Take the key.
All right, and she points and says, "Unfortunately, it's on the first floor, which means it'll be loud. But it's right at the end of the hall. You'll see a fish on the door lock. Turn the key. The fish will turn green on the key. That's how you know it's unlocked.
Okay,
On
great.
the inside,
and
you can lock it. It'll turn red. Nothing will be able to get in. You can store things in there."
Thank you so much. I hop down off 19.
It's an enchanted room. It's a good room. It's just relatively small for 4 of you, one of you being big lad.
and where can we bathe?
Oh, you need to bathe? Well,
Yes.
there's a common room. It'll have to
And
do.
what floor is that on?
She literally just points at a fucking open door on the on far end of the bar. There's a curtain that's drawn. She says, "There's bathing area behind there."
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Do you
Okay,
want a drink?
Yes, please.
Right. She just turns around, just pours each of you like a mead. Didn't even ask. Just puts 1 tankard down, 2 tankard, 3 tankard. She says, "That one's for your bard
No.
there."
I'll
She
take
doesn't-
it to him.
She doesn't
You
point
can
to
have
you.
mine too. 19.
Sure.
And she says, "The name's Nephane. If you need me, I actually own this establishment."
Wait, didn't she give me another name earlier, Brad, or no? Was that, am I just
I don't
confused?
think-
No, I don't think she is.
Okay, cool. Nephane, real cool. All right.
Thank
She
you.
says, "Hey, good luck in the tournament."
Thank you. I didn't read that at all. Thank you so much.
I'd like to grab the 2 drinks and walk over to Eero.
Turns around and starts dealing with other people.
I am going to go bathe.
Okay, yeah, you can head into the bathing area. There's it's just a big fucking great common room with massive what are those big buckets called? I forget what they're called now. A lot of them are filled with dirty water. A lot of them are empty. You walk in and there's just loads of people in there. It's completely unisex. There's just loads of people. Some in these big buckets sitting there, some not. There are lots of smaller buckets around, and as you walk in, there's a dude just completely naked, towel around his neck, who he's kind of drying his neck, and he says, you wanna head out the back? There's a pump for the well. Take a bucket."
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I will do just that. I will
Get
get
that like camera view like behind his ass.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, through
Just
his
see, like-
leg.
Just see that like curious ass hair that's like
Yeah.
popping off.
It's just like that every time you see a dude at the gym and he's naked, that guy, you know, just slightly overweight, mid-50s.
Look like a Q. How about
Yeah. he's that guy. But there's just plenty of people in there, and they don't seem to be they don't seem to be shy. They just want to get clean.
Okay.
So you can begin to bathe.
Great,
We'll begin
thank
the
you.
process of bathing. 19, you head over to where Iridir is, and he's still regaling the crowds.
And that's when the purple flame arrived. And I have like I do the minor illusion of the sort of explosion of drit,
Yeah.
and then I get
Oh,
really
yikes.
somber. I get really somber with the music.
I'm holding both glasses, and as he's doing it, I just kind of make a quick eye contact with him and just kind of nod and wait for him to get a story done. But I hand him a drink while he's telling the story.
There's a few people that perk up at this that are in the older gang. I feel like you've probably got any of the kids that were in here with their families have all come and sat cross-legged in front of you, and then suddenly more like there's a few of these travelers that kind of they perk up at this story that like has barely made it here like today, on the mouths of, you know, various bad informants, and yeah, you see a few more people perk up, some older people, as you tell this tale of Drit, and they're like, oh, how does he know about that then? Yeah, what's he doing? He's already come up with a story about it. Well, it sounded pretty good, didn't it? Well, yeah, how do you know about all that then? How do you know about that? And they're kind of looking over at you and listening.
Yeah, and the notes get a bit somber, and fighting for our lives, we had a shining beacon, and it gets like really, really somber. But we had no recourse, and I start to like walk about the stage, and I walk over to 19, who's got the like mug handed out, and like not breaking stride, I kind of take it up and I just down it, and like the music just kind of stops for a second. I hand the mug back to 19 and I incline my head.
Switch hands, give him another one. It's just there for you.
I
Whatever.
wave him off, and I start to turn around, and then the music starts back up again, and I say, "But this was not the last we'd see of Drift Cursebreaker." And then the music starts to like get more upbeat again, because Drift never quits. Drift never gives up. He is the Cursebreaker.
Cursebreaker! I'm like
I
in
can
the
hear
crowd.
it from the
just-
other room. I can hear it from the bath common room, and I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah. So, 19. I assume you tell the tale, or do you explain to Iridir what's going on?
Yeah, there's some RP involved in that I'd like to do.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I like regaled them with a sort of like slightly altered version of things that happened, mostly talking Drift up, and I don't talk about the stuff with Hasmal.
Yeah, I assume not. Yeah, I mean, you sort of do this performance and people clap and stuff, and
And that's when Rin punched into the mouth of this giant cat, killing it.
ooh,
Battered in blood, she stood like a warrior goddess and
Oh,
fell the giant beast.
There's a few people in the back like, sounds like this Rin should be in the competition. Yeah, not that kid.
Yeah, and then there's like, and Drift the entire time would be there, always watching, always ready to strike with an eldritch blast. And I just sort of have like a crackle of energy with my minor illusion behind me. And I go into the stuff with 19 jumping off the hill to kill these giant wolves and things that chased us. how valiantly everyone fought off these giant creatures that are way bigger in the story than they were in real life.
Yeah.
The size of a mountain.
Like everyone who is listening is enamored. There's quite a few people that just don't care. And then like the place is so packed that you really have to project to get everyone. You get the feeling that on a normal night, when it's not festival season, you could very easily reach the ears and eyes of everyone in the room. But this place is so ramo, and the cacophony of noise is drowning you out a lot tonight, or today. But for the most part, people are generally interested in your story. A handful of them throw coins on the stage, and you get, wow, it's 3 silver and 3 gold at your feet by the end of your story.
Yeah, and
Nice.
I kind of bow, and I do a bit of a flourish. I spin my lute. I have a strap like around my neck, and I do the thing. Have you ever seen like in like punk shows where they just sling their guitar and it flies all the way back around?
Yeah,
I do one of those.
With the loot.
Yeah.
There's there's quite a few people now looking at you as well, Drift. They're kind of looking you up and down. But they're doing the same kind of look that most people are doing, like with you just being a relatively small tiefling, young, dirty looking. Do you even have a sword? Yeah. Your sword, it forms in battle, right?
Yeah, it forms in battle.
So they're just kind of looking you up and down like, there's no way this is true. But
so
it's a good story.
I don't take it as that. If you're okay with this, like while they
you
have
take
their
it however you want, but you can see people looking at you. Most of the kids
I want to
like
be like shaking people's hands, like going through the crowd and just like waving, like shaking.
Brad, you said it was 3 silver and what?
3 and 3. 3 silver, 3 gold.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to meet you. Drift, how are you?
Most of them are not shaking your hand back. They're just like,
yeah,
and then when I get that awkward, I give them the point.
A couple of them.
I'll walk back over to 19 and like take the other mug and just kind of down it, pick up the money. Say thank you very much. Thank you. There he is. There's Drift the Cursebreaker himself. Don't let his small size impede your thoughts of him. He makes up for it with courage and strength.
Most people are not.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like
19,
smiling at him. I'm like giving him the thumbs up.
I'm having a blast.
You step on up to Iridia. Again, there's no tables or anywhere for you guys to sit. For the record, you're just stuck, just kind of standing around the stage area, which is only really just a central kind of raised platform in a circle, sort of a half circle at the back. There's 2 hearths in here on either side of the very large open plan ground floor, and I think this is kind of to the right of one of those hearths, on one side, on the right hand side of the big bar. Beside those stairs, and on the left maybe, is where Rin is somewhere bathing.
Yeah, so I'll kind of like get down off the stage and say thank you. Hello 19. And I look like way nicer. Like I've got like all these like fancy clothes and embroidered shit, and like I look way different.
Well, it's a good thing you look so good. 19 looks a little.
Right. Thank you.
Looks a little like, as much as you could see, he would be frustrated. Well, I hope you know that our friends, have just sold you to work for the bar for just a free room.
What?
You're here 3 days. You'll be playing 2 hours per day. And that is for the one very tiny, and I point to the fish room, that one very tiny room over there. They decided to make an agreement without you being there. I'll be honest, I tried to stand up, but before I could, Rin grabbed the key. Again, you must play for an hour 2 times a day in order for us to stay here for free. 2 times, so 2 hours a day, I'm assuming once in the morning and once at night. Now, that is unless you'd like to go to the bar and maybe negotiate, which I think would be a good idea. I asked for 25 gold for the entire time you were here, plus the free stay. She said no. And then as I said that, she said the best deal you'll get is the room.
Is that a
Okay,
lot of
say-
gold? I sort of like hold up the money that I just made. I made some.
You know, I may not know much, but I do know that you're worth something, and you're not worth just a free room. I would like to beg to pardon her that you should at least get paid while you're here. During a festival, being as skilled as you just were, you'd think that she'd want to pay you. And I also must be honest with you, this free room is nice, but I could have also gotten us a free room at John's. He would have kept all of us up for free as well, and probably fed us. Whereas here, we have a free room and you need to work. I think we need to all sit down and discuss this again. If not, so be it. Maybe a couple of us could stay here and a couple of us could stay at the farm.
Hero! That story was awesome. Cheers! And I like go to clink glasses with him.
Yeah, it's mine's like mostly empty.
Okay.
clink it.
And I cheers him and we got you the best deal. So we got a room for free. All you have to do is play for 2 hours.
Hey, is that good? 19 said that it wasn't that good.
Seemed like a great bargain. You 2 hours of your day and we get an awesome fish room
Right. There's so many hours
and a free bath.
right. How many are there? There's and I sort of like look a little bit confused and furrow my brow a bit. It's so many in a day.
Yeah, there's tons. So it doesn't matter. 2 is nothing out of a full day.
Right.
That's how I thought.
Are
of
you
it.
sure that it's not a good deal, 19?
He doesn't say anything.
I can speak with her. I don't have a problem. Who is it?
He just kind of was her at the bar.
Name
What
is-
does she look like?
You can all do as you please. I don't think I'll be staying here with you, though. I don't think I will be. There's not enough room.
Well, I suppose we don't have to stay here.
No, I don't mind.
I was simply trying to make sure that Drift was well received.
It's
Very.
I don't disagree with that. And from what she had said, the room was very small. Maybe a couple of you could fit in there, maybe all 3 of you, but I could, but
I mean, if I were to be honest, I don't think I'm sleeping much tonight. I'm very excited, and there's a lot we still have to do. I thought we wanted to take a bath, and then we were gonna go to the farm, possibly go pick up our garments, our armor, statues.
There is a lot to do. All right. Well, perhaps I should speak with her. Where's Rin?
She's right over there.
So,
Rin's in the
yeah.
bath. The lady she's a little older, right there.
There's like a slightly older looking elven woman. She's got brown hair. She's got really like obvious freckles. And one of her ears is just filled with piercings. Other than that, she's just kind of wearing like workman's clothes, like big boots and just sort of stained clothes, and then like a bag around the front that holds all the gold and stuff in. She's just busily tending up and down as she moves along the bar.
I'll just confidently walk up to the bar.
Yeah, she's like serving someone else. She's just not even looking at you yet. She just walks
Yeah,
past you.
I
And goes
just
to
I
someone
kind of
else.
like patiently I like patiently wait.
Yeah,
And
she just keeps walking
I take
past.
the moment like when she like tries to like walk past. I'll put my elbow on the table and just
Hello.
She's you. Nice to meet you. Right, so they told you you'll be working 2 hours a day, lunch, and then around dinner time, which is for this place during festivals, sort of when it gets dark, would be good. Any time between then and midnight would be fine, to be honest. We're giving you the room. The elf took the key.
Right. I apologize. My friend spoke a bit hastily for me.
Right.
My name is Iro. Pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
Pleasure to meet you. The name's Nefene. I own this fine establishment. She shakes your
Hi.
hand.
Hello there, Nefene.
What is it? You need a drink, food?
Well, I was curious. You see, my rather large friend over there, spoke to me about the situation, and this is the first that I've heard of it. I was a bit curious. It seemed to me, at least from what my friend had said, that, well, I should be, well, I look towards like 19, better compensated for this entire situation. They said that you were in desperate need of a bard, and, well, I am quite skillful.
Right, yeah. Desperate need is possibly an oversight. I mean, if you're not happy with the arrangement, that's fine. I'll just take the key back, and you can go and stay somewhere else if you'd like. I mean, you're getting a room. It would normally be 10 gold a night. It's one of the only rooms in one of the best establishments we got here in Rosegard during festival season. I'm not even sure anywhere is going to put you up for the night. Not really sure what you're expecting. I mean, you're a good entertainer. That's right. Yeah, I saw what you did there. It was very nice with the flashy and the stories. Very good. But I don't think that you're quite as good as he thinks. I've seen some good bards in my time. I don't think that you're not worth like hundreds of gold in my penthouse suite, is what I'm trying to say. And it's, don't take it the wrong way. It was a good performance, and I'm happy to work with you during nights.
I'm sorry, I would never take anything you say the wrong way, I think.
Okay.
Nefene, may I ask?
All right.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm a bit taken, you see. Would it be too much, too forward of me to inquire, are you married?
Married. Think I got time to be married? I'm running this place. Married to this place, yeah.
Well, the only reason that I ask is you have a certain way about you. Even amongst all of the hustle and bustle of this place, you seem to be taking everything in stride with a very good head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And many people don't see that as valuable.
Trust me, plenty of people see it. Most of them come in swaggering in like you too. Listen, you're not really my type. Maybe you can send the elf to me later, but that's about it. Do you want lunch?
Very well. I'll ask if she's interested.
You want some food? Do you want some drink? It's just that I got people waiting.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we continue on with this deal for now?
All
My
right.
friends, obviously, they might require some other means of rest this evening, but for now, I think we can agree upon the performance. If I can keep any tips and such that are given by the crowd.
Yeah, that's of course they're yours. They're always yours to keep. Is that it? Like 3 men down. There's like, Nefene, get a move on, lass. Come on. 1 second.
And I'll see if our friend is free this evening.
Right, yeah, tell her it's not a date.
All right, purely casual sex. Very well.
Okay. She's gone.
I look. There's no I'm not flabbergasted or anything. I just kind of walk away.
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's gone. She's been doing this a long time. Rin.
Yes. Can I come out now?
It's up to you. I assume
Yeah.
you bathe.
I didn't take forever. Yeah.
If you're just trying to get clean and
Yeah.
not doing anything crazy, then yeah, you just jump in a bath, clean yourself, jump out. Relatively fresh water. You feel cleanish. There is soap. Did you use the soap?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, yeah, communal soap. It's like prison shower in there, you know. Like people are doing pretty much what you're doing as well. Just jump in and clean themselves, get it done, and then they carry on. It's like we're used to, with our modern brains, expecting a certain level of whatever, but this is pretty decent, really. And the water came out fresh and clean as well, from the pump. So you head back out I feel like probably these three are kind of squished up at the bar, stood up. There's a few bar staff walking up and down. Every now and then they might pour you a drink, Hero, depending on how long it's been. They sort of just treat you like one of them. They'll just pour you a drink and put it in front of you and give you a nod and walk off if they see that your tankard's empty. And Rin, yeah, you rejoin the party.
Oh, Hero. It's a very nice performance that you had. We got a place to stay because of you. And you get to perform at one of these fancy city inns.
Yes. I was told of the deal that was made. 19 didn't think it was so wonderful, but I don't really have much of a problem with it. Of course. I almost forgot. So the person at the bar was interested to find out if you're curious, if you were interested in having some casual sex with him.
Oh, Nephene?
Yes.
Oh. That's okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I just kind of look around, like, is everybody else like bewildered by like what I just said?
I'm not there.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
walking.
There's no expression for any of it.
There's
Yeah,
no
so
way.
Yeah, I just say, yeah.
So where was the bath?
Right over there, communal bath.
All right.
I just
Maybe don't use the soap.
All right.
just kind of look like a bit questioningly at her and walk off to the bath.
I'm gonna run up. Rin.
Yes. Drip first breaker. Yes. What?
Can I see the key?
Yes, absolutely. Wait, what? What are you gonna do with it?
I just want to go see the room.
Yeah, let's go together. It's enchanted. Let's go.
That's what exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, you two
I go
can
with
see the
them.
room. 19.
I go with them.
All right,
Okay.
so you three head. So the room, she said, was up the stairs on the first floor at the end of the corridor.
Right.
She pointed to the stairs that are on like the left-hand side of the bar. Do you go up those stairs or the stairs on the right?
The ones she pointed to, for sure. I'll
Okay.
go that way.
Yeah, you head up these stairs, and they just go pretty much straight upwards. It's a decent staircase, but it's quite small, and it spirals upwards, taking you up to the first floor of what looks like just a very long hallway that possibly connects to the other side. But you can see that it splits in two ways, and you can head to an end that has kind of a dead end. Assuming you head straight down to the end of that room, or the hallway, you pass a bunch of different doors. Each one is just a plain wooden door. There's only actually about 10 doors, 5 on each side, and then there's one at the very end. Each one has a different animal or a symbol. Like one will have a sword, one has like a little picture of a bear, one of them has like a frog, and then you see the fish. It's not in any color, it's just etched on the door itself. Plain looking door. This floor doesn't look anywhere near as fanciful, though. The walls are painted kind of like a cream white. It's like wooden walls, and then the door is just a plain brown door, brass handle with a lock underneath it.
So I'm gonna pull out use the key that I got, and try and put it into the lock.
Yeah, you put the key in the lock and you turn it, and you see that the red fish painted on it just changes green. Nothing crazy, just changes green. And you hear the lock turn.
That means we can go in.
Are you
I
ready?
wonder why I'm ready. I wonder why it's enchanted. Oh, can I sense this door? Can I do anything to detect this and kind of like see if I know what kind of magic is being used?
What do you have that would sense magic?
Can I do my arcana, my history?
You can give me an arcana check. Yeah, it wouldn't be a sense. It's just kind of if
Okay.
you know what kind of magic is going on here.
Okay. Nope. Not a clue.
On a 3, you have no
Not a
idea.
I have no idea, but it looks fantastic.
You were told it was enchanted. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so you guys open the door. You walk into quite a small room. It's really quite squat. It's not.
Oh, it is small.
Yeah, it's like one of those kind of like Holiday Inn kind of rooms. I don't know if you have that in America or whatever. It's just like the most basic kind of motel room kind of thing. It's very small, but it's not it's not like gross. There's a double bed which pushes almost to either side of the wall. There's about enough space between the door and the foot of the bed for one person to sleep kind of comfortably, or maybe a 19 to squeeze into. There's a single chest on one side of the bed. And there's a window. It's another one of those stained glass windows. You can see that there is actually like a little sort of fragmented image of a fish with a little brass lock on the window. And on top of the windowsill, there's a little glass with a single rose in a glass sitting there. Other than that, there's like nothing. The walls are painted cream, just like on the outside. The bed looks basic. Probably some sort of feather mattress, though, which is pretty good, to be honest. The bed looks comfortable. Looks good. The blanket on top is... it looks kind of clean. You know, not new, but clean. Yeah, a decent... all in all, a decent room.
Are there any extra blankets anywhere or anything, like, showing?
No.
Okay.
It's the most basic room like ever. You know, there's nothing else here. It's just there's not even a table. Yeah, there's not even a table and chair or anything. There's pillows. Yeah, 2 pillows, flat-looking pillows.
I'm
Basic
going to
travel lodge room.
Yeah, I'm just gonna very stealthily, not stealthily, but just very like laid back, just kind of like grab the pillows and be like, my own room. This is awesome, and I'm gonna try and just like throw it over to the chest. To like land on the chest or like by the chest.
Can I catch it?
Yeah, give me contested
Fuck
sleight
off.
of hand checks.
Okay.
Come on, stop. I'm trying to just chill. Come on, let me get this one.
He throws a pillow.
Please, this is my... Yes!
He throws a pillow. You kind of like fumble with it in the air, but it lands like half on the chest.
Okay.
Oh man, this room's great. And I just... talking like I didn't do anything. Really, really nice. Totally worth it, right?
I would have no idea, but as long as Eero gets enjoyment, you know, playing in a dream inn, he seemed really taken with this place, so.
Yeah, I mean, the stories he was telling us, I mean, that's about us. Isn't that cool?
I would prefer it if he left me out, but
Really?
I guess it's fine.
Why?
I don't know. It wasn't that cool, was it? Punching a cat?
You punched it really hard. It's pretty amazing.
I did punch it really hard.
But I mean, if you don't want to be in his stories, I'm sure you could just ask him to leave you out.
Oh, I'm sure I could, but I think that's what he does. I think that's part of just being friends with a bard. They're going to take your life and use it.
I'm totally okay with it. And I run. I like do like a little hop, and I run out of the room and start, going to like I want to take a bath.
Okay.
Oh wait, drift. We have to lock the room when we leave it. So.
Oh yeah.
You've got the key now. So.
I throw her over the key.
Oh God. Okay.
And then I like start taking off my shirt like as I'm running out.
Okay. And then I will leave the room and I will lock it, and then I will go back downstairs.
All right, 19. Are you in the room?
Oh shit!
You lock
What?
him in?
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you followed us. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were there.
Makes sense.
He's done the
Real hard
statue
to
thing
miss.
that he did in like
Real easy to miss.
the room is like 10 feet squared. like he is.
I didn't hear him say he followed us. I'm so sorry.
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
you were there.
He did.
Oh,
He was
it's
just
so funny.
quietly. Do you follow him out, 19 at least?
If she said she walked out of the room, I am still in there, locked in the room. 100%.
Well, I didn't know you were in there. I wouldn't
I
have
mean,
left
you can
she wouldn't
retcon
have
and just
I
be
just
like,
didn't-
you come
But if
in.
you locked me in there and you've already said you locked me in there, I'm in there locked in.
Perhaps this closet is for me.
Okay.
I'm Bender. That's all I am right now. Is I'm just Bender.
I mean, I doubt she
I
would have
do
locked
love
you in
Bender.
there though. That's the thing, is that she didn't
Yeah,
over there.
I wouldn't
I go-
have.
Yeah, she would've seen
I
you.
just didn't
As she
know.
shuts the door and I
Yeah.
hear the, I just.
Wait.
Pardon me.
Yep. Okay, I'll reopen the door. Sorry, 19. I'm so
op-
sorry.
You open it and my head's cut off. All you see is my chest down because I'm so tall. The doorway's not tall enough, and I just kind of.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sorry.
Growing used to it. It's fine. Don't worry. I probably will not be staying here with you. I'm very certain of that. I look
Oh.
back at the room. I look back at her. I look back at the room again. It's probably not going to work with the four of us, but you guys.
Probably not.
But I'll make do. I'll
Well,
figure something out.
I don't know if we're going to stay here. I think Eero is going to stay here,
Hmm.
but I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, why don't we see if he is still where did Drift run off to?
I think he went to take a bath.
Anything you need?
Me?
Hmm?
No, but would you like me to give you a bath? You're pretty filthy.
Well, I can't reach some spots, and there's still some red on me. Still, I'm trying to get rid of the rest of this red. Do you have something that could scrub it very hard? That could
Well-
maybe pull this paint off?
Yeah, they have cloth in the common room. We could just go in there and I could just help you.
I would be grateful. I would also like to note, Brad, that if this is possible, I want to have the rest of every part of the red rubbed off of me. I
Sure.
want to be rubbed off until I'm not red anymore.
Okay, all right. So you
Exact
get
opposite of what-
Phrasing.
all right,
Phrasing.
you
Phrasing,
get all right,
phrasing.
listen. So you get rubbed off in the hotel room
All right.
Until you aren't red anymore.
Sorry, I haven't had a
until you
lesson.
aren't red anymore. And Drift and Eero, you guys take baths as well. You probably see that same. In fact, each of you probably sees a different, exact same old man. His hair's just probably slightly different as you walk in. Like, go to the pump, get the pump. Tells you how to clean. You guys clean up a little bit. 19, you no longer have any red paint on you, so you're just kind of silver looking, or like.
Oh, no, I'm completely
iron.
jet black now. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, black. Yeah.
It was jet black underneath the red. So my whole thing is black now.
And yeah, you look like fucking War Machine. And that's where we're gonna take our break while these guys are each getting rubbed off. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes.
This is gonna be. Oh, this is awesome.
When I assume they'll go shopping before the day is done. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Remember that we have other shows all week. If you want to check out some other shows, D&D, we run a Masks show. We've got some wine, and we've got a Judge Dredd show. If you check the schedule underneath the Twitch stream thing, I say Twitch stream because some people are watching this on YouTube. I know what you like. You'll see when it's on. Keep an eye on it at the moment because we're in daylight savings, and that kind of messes everything up. If you're in the UK, they're on an hour earlier than we state most of the time, for like another week-ish. And don't forget to check out our Patreon. I would also like to remind everybody, I say remind, really it's kind of an announcement because it's kind of last minute. We're doing a shill show tomorrow, a Halloween special, where we're playing, what's it called?
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Oh, cool.
So a bunch of us streamers are going to be playing that and messing around, and you guys will be able to donate to affect things that are going on in the game. And what time are we doing that?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 Eastern. 4 Eastern, right here. Betrayal at Baldur's Gate tomorrow. Special Wednesday show for Halloween. Hallows Eve. So we'll see you then. Other than that, we'll be back in a few minutes. Go get yourselves a nice rub down. All right. Howdy now, y'all. My name's Tiger Rider, and we come on down back. Come on down to Tiger Rider's Tiger Emporium. Get yourself a white tiger or one of them normal-looking orange ones.
Orange tiger.
Get yourself an orange tiger or a white tiger. Tiger Rider's Tiger Emporium on Tiger Street.
Tigers will tell your tiger falls.
Boulder, Colorado. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's a perfect impression of Tiger Rider. Thank you very much. I'm channeling him through my T-shirt that I got on. My Tiger Rider poo-poo cake.
I don't quite understand why you need to channel me through your shirt.
Poo-poo cake.
Heard that voice in a while, have you?
No, it literally gave me like a PTSD moment then. That threw me.
Whole person on BradWOTO.
Threw me too hard. All right, so y'all crew are in the Iron Well Inn in Rosegard, and you're all clean. Your clothes are still kind of dirty, but you're clean. You don't smell as bad. You've checked the room out, and time is a ticking. I feel like it's probably been maybe an hour or two. So it's maybe like pushing on. It's maybe about 2 in the afternoon, a little after 2. When you guys meet up again in the bar area. Eventually you find each other once again. And what do you want to do now?
Imagine we all found each other in the bath, but sure, bar works.
Probably, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Should we go get your clothes? Curse breaker?
Yeah. If everyone's okay with that.
It's
after I've come out of the bath, I'm wearing my shitty clothes again.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have any other clothes, right? Do you guys have any other clothes?
I
have a cloak.
do.
You do?
Okay. But they're not regular clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely look different to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to take that.
You are finally clean of all the extra paint on your body. So you're just entirely like black washed iron, essentially. Just a gargantuan warforged. The rest of you are in dirty clothes, but clean skin, smelling okay. I feel like you've probably had some. Well, you had something to drink. You can have had some food as well if you want. Like,
Definitely.
They seem to just be feeding you here, and I guess you push your way back outside, back out into the sort of sunshine of the day. The crowds are still thick. You still have to like push through crowds, and then even once you're outside of the double doors, you're still within. There's a bunch of people, and you keep wandering through them until eventually you find that main street again, north of the Iron Well, kind of like up here. I guess actually here would be a decent bridge. Like I feel like for the most part the Iron Well backs up onto this river or canal, and there's like a big old bridge that is the cobblestone bridge that 2 carts either side could fit across quite comfortably. You guys just heading northwards towards the wash there?
Yeah, where the kid told us originally.
Yeah.
Or the person before the kid that Eero talked to, right? Eero? Or Wack?
Right.
That's right.
Okay, so you just start moving. You just start walking. And again, it's just kind of like this continual rolling houses, a couple of towers every now and then, similar to the ones that were outside with the military in. There's a definite military presence. As you walk along probably the main street, you see your first Warforged that isn't 19. He's a big looking, like just identical twin brother, but he's entirely in that red paint that 19 was in when you first met him. He's super clean, shining. He doesn't have a big old greatsword on his back. he has what looks like a big gnarled wooden staff, and at the top of the staff there's like a crystal shard that seems to have been like pressed into the wood and then held there with kind of some weird looking twine. And he's walking along. He's strafed by two of those stately looking knights with the thick pauldrons and the red cape, and they're just talking to each other kind of across the warforge. You notice immediately that this warforge doesn't have the eyes that are glowing, suggesting that he's not kindled in the same way that 19 is. So he's kind of just a homunculus wandering through the city. But yeah, I mean, you most likely you would have seen maybe other warforged around, but this is one that passes by you as you walk past it. And yeah, I mean, the two guards barely pay you any notice. They seem to just be in their own conversation as they walk past you.
Would I know anything about Warforged Pass, really, Brad? Like how they all...
Check.
Huh?
Give me a history check. We'll see what you know.
Would I recognize this Warforged?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is with the Warforged is they all look the same as well. It's very hard to tell them apart. You know that some of the kindled Warforged purposefully like wear things or change things on themselves to make themselves stand out. Each Warforged does have a number, but it's not a thing that's like imprinted on them or anything. They just usually referenced. Sometimes they have it on them, painted on, just crudely drawn on. 17 history. Yeah, you know everything about the Warforged in the general sense, in that they were created during the later parts of the war.
Cool.
Like 70 years ago, I think, or 90 years ago, I think. I can't remember what it was now. And that they just came out of nowhere and they turned the tide of this war very much into the favor of Thelmecia. And that now they're still around. Some of them kindle like 19, and
I
some
understand kindling and stuff like that happens. That's the process. I've been told stories about. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't shocked to see and be like, is that 19?
Yeah. No, cool. You don't. You recognize.
Awesome.
They pass by you, and yeah, you continue to move up. You notice that the area, as you move away from where the inn is and the gate is, there's a lot less shops and a lot more homes. You feel like as you're moving along here, this just seems like an area where people live. And again, they're not these huge, great homes. They're just very standard issue, like relatively squat. Some of them 2-story, maybe split. And eventually you probably, if you're following this road along the north, eventually you're going to need to kind of head down one of these side alleys to get to this waterfront. Unless you just follow this all the way along until you see something that looks kind of similar. But she said that there's an area along here that's kind of like a market along the wash somewhere, and then there's a load of boutiques around there, and that's where you wanted to go. So I wondered how much of a dead straight shot you were heading towards the waterfront, or whether you were kind of just wandering along.
I would probably actually try to anything that looks like a main road. I don't think, at least Rin probably wouldn't necessarily think to jut down an alleyway or anything to try to get to the waterfront. So she'd probably take the long way around if that's what seemed like. If
it's a lot easier to move
cut
along.
Through.
They're not all alleyways, like these little smaller roads and stuff here, and not really alleyways. They're just much thinner roads where you can fit 2 carts easily side by side along this thick main road here. You can for the most part easily fit a cart down some of these other roads. A lot of them are alleyways between the houses and stuff. It's just a huge hodgepodge of houses that seem to have been hastily built up at random by different architects as well. Over the years, it would look like it looks more like London than like Barcelona kind of thing. In that it's just kind of random buildings all smashed together and kind of twisty, turny roads. But the buildings are nice, a lot nicer than the greys of London, white and brown, some red brick, but not much.
But we can see the water peeking out.
Yeah, I think once you get to here, you can easily start to notice that the water is there. Again, this is like, it's a pretty large place, but it's not ginormous. And the river here is about a mile across, so it's very easy to see. So
it looks like the wash is that way, the waterfront. Didn't they say the boutique was at the waterfront?
It was somewhere over there, I believe.
Yes. Do you want to take this street?
All right. I suppose any street is as good as the other.
Are you speaking of taking a main road or an alleyway? Because
Just one of the side roads, not an alleyway, but like a street. It's not as big as this one, but it leads straight to the waterfront.
Why?
Why don't we just walk?
Isn't that what we're doing right now?
Yes. Why are we making a stringent of it of figuring out where to go? Let's just take the road and walk.
I just start walking and keep walking.
cool. Yeah, you start walking. Okay, so I just
He's just confused. There's nothing he's not
Don't lock
saying.
me in a fucking room.
yeah, I you never know. Sometimes you guys want to do specific things. Okay, so you guys head up to the waterfront, and once you get onto the main road that runs along this waterfront here, a lot of the architecture in the houses change. They seem to be a lot more elegant. So where the houses were okay before, they become pretty damn nice. Stately homes. As some of them have like large areas of land around them. Some of them with gardens. There is a couple of domed houses. There's a couple of elegant-looking towers. There are certain buildings that have like nicely crafted mosaics of colored glass, arches and pillars on some of the houses. Like somebody has demolished whichever small house was there before and remade something recently. Much wider, much cleaner areas for these residences. There doesn't look like there's any boutique or shops or anything along this side here on the west hand part, but as you start to push down here and you walk for a little longer, maybe 10-15 minutes, you notice that at this kind of junction there's a lot more people that are pushing in and out of this area, and you can see carts coming off of the main road towards what looks like a very small market area along the waterfront. And when you finally get there, you can see lots of little market stands. It's kind of like a square almost on the waterfront that you would assume is this particular part, the Washes kind of waterfront market. And there's a square of a lot of different boutiques around the edge. And some of them push out a little further, and then at the center of it there's just nicely arranged as well. Like this isn't kind of like a chaotic market, just a bunch of different little stands and market stands. Give me perception checks or investigation checks, everybody, to see if you can find what you're looking for.
17 for drift.
Crit 1.
12 for Eru.
8 perception from Rin. Okay, so
Oh boy.
19 and Rin, you're just looking around and you just see a bunch of stuff. You're just looking at all these varied traders and merchants. Some of them seem to be selling kind of just knickknacks. Some of them are selling little pots and pans. Nothing here seems useful to you as you're kind of instantly walking in. It doesn't look like anyone is selling clothes. It doesn't seem like anyone is selling anything other than just like bullshit. Just little painted dolls and pots and stuff, and nothing that's like really going to help you too much here. Stuff for your houses. There's quite a few places that seem to be selling decent looking food maybe, but again you don't see the specific shops that you're looking for. Iridir, you don't see J. Crew, Finery and High Fashion, but you do see a market stand at the dead center, or maybe you hear the market stand at the dead center of the waterfront market, which has a little young elven man with very long blonde hair. He's sitting on a stool and he's playing very just casually, strumming lightly on a lute, just sort of a melodic summer tune. And the stand that he sits beside has just a variety of well-crafted looking musical items. There's like and on one side there's like a perfect large mahogany lute or harp, sorry, with like a carefully hand-woven wraps around the pillar. Along the table in front of him, he's got at least 4 lutes. There's some pipes, percussion instruments, and a huge array of like strings and reeds and chimes. So you sort of see this guy and you assume that this is Kethen's market boutique, because you were kind of looking for a luthier, somebody you could restring or purchase some strings from for your lute as well. Drift, you immediately, and maybe because your brain was thinking about it, you see a boutique, which is a shop, like a building. At the very far end of the market, maybe you kind of step up on like a higher point, or maybe you're walking along a wall, and you can see over everything for a brief moment. As you look, you see somewhere that has a very obvious kind of lilac wash wooden door under a very large wooden sign. But it's the shop window that you notice things. You notice just wondrous looking clothing. Some of the items like glitter and sparkle of their own accord. Each piece is kind of slightly odd in appearance because it's kind of high fashion for this era. And one of the things that you notice is a very bright yellow hat, sort of sewn with exquisite detail, which kind of comes out and looks like it would sit on your head, kind of like a wide-brimmed thing, but not too wide-brimmed. It comes down and sits comfortably on your head and sticks up to a point, almost like a weird kind of high-fashion mage hat, with like a weird wide-brimmed thing going on. Very kind of weird looking, but immediately takes your attention. And across on the sign it says J. Crew, Finery and High Fashion. So between you two, you see the 2 things that you were kind of looking for. Kind of like a wide brim witch hat. Yes. Yeah.
That's my hat in there.
There it is.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
I think everyone's fine with it. Yeah, I if I noticed the luthier, I said, "Oh, that must be one of the luthiers that Lieutenant Boulder-Downs was speaking about. I'm going to speak to them. Did anyone else find the Jacqueline Crew shop?"
Yes, there it is.
Oh,
It's right across, all the way at the end.
Where?
Follow me. And I just like go like sort of running like ahead a
Well,
little bit.
you can just point to it, Drift. I'm going to be there in a moment.
I'm just running
All
in.
right.
he's just too excited.
Okay, yeah,
I'll catch
you
up
run
with
off.
him.
It is very exciting. I'll be there in a little while. I'm going to speak to the luthier.
I run after to catch up with Drip.
Okay. Rin, what are you doing? Who are you with?
Are there any other shops here that I see? Probably no weapons or anything, right? Because this is like fancy pants. Nobody fights here.
Yeah, I mean, it's give me what are you looking for in specifically?
I'm looking
and I'll
for
let
a
you know
whip
that.
and a longbow. Like I'm looking for actual weapons.
All right, roll me a D100.
Oh boy.
Ooh, fun. Ain't that fun?
Can I add my extra 1d4?
You can use one of them. How many of those do you have?
Isn't it like unlimited until tomorrow at midday or something?
I can't remember what I said now. That's why
I can't remember what you said either.
Wait, when did you get
You said we
1d4?
have 3 of them.
I'm sure I wrote it down
Oh,
somewhere.
okay.
though.
It was either 3 or 1.
I don't think I would have given it unlimited, otherwise it would have just been.
Quetzalcoatl thing.
Lol.
flying through the air.
I feel like you had
Okay,
a certain
then no, I
amount.
don't want to use that on that.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So.
I tried.
Get something good.
So you just wander off by yourself then, basically, and start looking
No,
around.
I just want to look. I just want to look and see if I see anything. If I don't, I'll go to the store with Drift.
You do see a leatherworking merchant who has a bunch of different things that maybe he sells something like a whip. But other than that, you don't really see anyone that looks like they're doing anything with weapons or self-defense or armor. The closest thing that you see is kind of a leather worker dude who maybe has some like leather armor and maybe has something by that way. And then you're following who? Sorry.
Drift. I'm making note of the leather worker though. I'll stop in after.
Okay. So you three run off to the to
witch hat.
JP to J crew, yeah. And we'll stick with Eero as you head over towards this relatively young-looking elven man with his long blonde hair, kind of loose. He's not. He doesn't look like he takes care of himself too much, but he does look pretty stylish in his own weird way.
I actually couldn't care less about him.
Yeah.
What do the instruments look like? Can I investigate them and see if they're well maintained?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
4.
You looking over his stuff. Your experience with stuff. This is going to be hard to word. From here is probably going to be pretty minimal. And because of that, you're not sure. Like, they don't look like the type of instruments that you're used to seeing. But you can make out at least that the woods and the items that they look like they're made from look pretty decent. But they all look kind of standard and plain to you. You're not too sure though whether they're good or bad or what. The song that he's playing sounds pretty good, and the lute that he's playing it on looks standard but sounds nice.
Yeah, I kind of I'm looking at the instruments and such, and I look up.
Hello there.
Oh, hello there. You after something? He kind of looks you up and down again.
Perhaps.
He stops playing his instrument.
Perhaps.
Yes. What are you looking for?
My name is Eero. Might you be Kethend?
He opens his eyes and says, yes, I was told to expect you. And you're looking for strings, or you would like your lute restrung?
Oh, I don't merely want strings for my lute. It's been through a very difficult trip. I want to make sure that it's well polished, maintained, and with new strings. I essentially want it well cared for. You see, I'm going to be performing a lot in the coming days, and I want to make sure that it's in the best condition possible, as well as silver polish and such.
Yes, of course, yes.
Is this something that you can do?
Yes, of course, absolutely, yes. Do you have the lute? He looks at the lute.
And I lean in. I lean into him and I say,
"How long have you been doing this?"
He says, all my life.
And how long is that?
98 years.
All right. Well, you have to understand, I'm particularly attached to this. I don't exactly give this away easily. I can trust you.
Yes, I assure you it would be perfectly safe with me.
All right.
I'm staring at him like as I take my lute off and just kind of I look down at it and I say,
You must understand, I have a particular connection with this. If anything happens to it, I will be very cross.
He says, I assure you, I'm very good at defending myself. Should anybody try and take anything from me, I'll take it back. As I always have. I've never had anything stolen, and I've kept everything that I've been fixing, restringing, looking after, and giving it back in perfect tip-top condition.
Can I insight check him?
Yes, you can.
Finally, I was waiting for that. Oh no.
7. I mean,
Oh no.
he just says this to you pretty flat, and you can't read him either way, to be honest. You're just like, yeah, maybe he's telling the truth, maybe he's not. He seems pretty confident, though.
I say, And how long have you been working with the Boulder Downs?
Oh, well, work with all manner of noble types.
Are
of
you
course.
the only luthier here in the city?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I'm just the only one here at the wash.
So there are others here.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to play it like really aloof and looking around all the stuff, and yeah, it all looks a bit foreign to me. I'm used to instruments being created in a different way, and I say,
Well, perhaps I'll be back later.
He says, "Oh, you don't need it worked on now. I can be done within an hour, 2.
Maybe later. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Have a wonderful day."
You as well.
He sits back down. He grabs a piece of parchment off of the table and unrolls the scroll kind of thing, and it's a written song, and he starts to play the lute and just lets you go.
yeah, I walk away.
Okay, so the other 3 ran off.
Woo!
The other 3 ran off to J. Crew, finery and high fashion. So Drift, you ran ahead of them. What do you do first?
Straight into the store.
Just bursting straight
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, you
oh my
bust
goodness.
in, and it's a very small little boutique. There's clothes that kind of just pack the whole place out. They're on individual stands for a lot of the area. There's a lot that are kind of just hung up, relatively close together. It looks like there's a back room beyond the entrance kind of thing, but you're just surrounded by clothes. They're everywhere. They're not like piled on top of each other like crazy though. They're all like specifically and individually kind of displayed for the most part. But there are racks and there are some items that are on tables. There is nobody in here except for a halfling. How tall are you? I forget.
I'm 5'3".
Oh, she's much shorter than you. As soon as you burst through the door, she turns around and she appears to have been like fiddling with some sort of pair of trousers, and immediately she looks like she jumps and she turns around. And you see kind of like a middle-aged looking halfling woman with this huge thatch of black frizzy hair, and she's wearing a bright yellow fitted tunic with bright yellow slacks, and these like very strange looking thin shoes that are on like a point on the heel end. She has a tape around her neck, like a tape measure, but she also has a huge smile on her face, and she says, "Oh, hello, can I help you?"
Yes, my name is Drift. Drift, Cursebreaker.
Oh, you're the one. Yes, come in. Like a few seconds later, the door pushes open and Rin walks in, and 19, I assume. She said, "Oh, these with you?"
Yes, these are my friends.
Oh, yes. Hello. Well then, Cursebreaker. I've been told to fit you with some superior clothing.
I giggle.
She extends an arm across one half of the store and she says, "Everything here is available to you if you'd like it. Although I do think that probably this area would be more your size. Why not take a look? What are you looking for?"
Something bright.
Bright, yes, that's a man after my heart, perhaps, eh? She kind of like brushes down this thing. She says, "And what color is your favorite color?"
Well, I saw the yellow hat in the window.
Oh, you want that hat?
Do I want that hat?
Well, if you might want it, yes.
I mean, the thing is, I want us all to match. in hats. I want me and my friends. I have a total of 3 friends on top of me, so that's 4 all day. I want us all to have the same matching hats.
Oh, is that right? Well, I was told only to fit you and half elf Iridir.
Oh, I don't mind paying for them.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, well, fine. Why don't you find yourself something here? Something bright. Okay. And she grabs like a bright fuchsia tunic. And it's like open at the front, like really low. It's like really fluffy on the arms and kind of like with some string to pull in. She says, "What about this? This looks like it would fit you."
I was thinking a little something more, maybe like do you have a bright red to match one of my eyes?
Well, aren't you in the Kingdom of the Rose? Yes, we have plenty of reds. And she pulls out a couple of similar looking tunics that kind of do that same thing. There's one that's like a really weird tight fitting thing that has kind of a hood that comes off the back. Very thin looking, almost vest sleeves that come up to the top. Maybe it runs a little long. She says, yes, how about this?
I think it should be purple.
What do you think purple?
Yeah.
What about
you survived the fire twice. I think you should use that to your advantage.
It's true. It's sort of like talking about my story. 19.
That's right.
What do you?
I've never bought clothes before.
Does he just have like a clothing rack? Like, is he just dragging one behind him?
He's so big.
It's like stuck in his sword compartment.
Yeah.
Okay then, purple. And she grabs a couple of different tunics. She says, yes, well, these are the colors of Lenadale, of course. And so we have a few for traveling types. Are you from Lenadale by chance?
No.
No, we have some that have a sash on. They like the sash. They prefer the sort of long, flowing robes, you know. So I've got a few loose-fitting pieces, if that's what...
Oh, I like that one. The purple with the yellow. That's nice.
Purple with the yellow.
Yeah.
As I thought, a man after my own heart. And yeah, she grabs. What do you want it to look like?
Literally no idea.
At this point, you're more than welcome to just describe what you want and take it for the price of what this is. You can literally take whatever the fuck you want out of this place.
So I think like. We're still chatting and we'll have another like 10 minutes of bickering back and forth. But I feel like I get to the point where she realizes that I want to be something different, a color that's never been done before, multiple colors that is. And I sort of put on like a purple, yellow, green, and red. I get all the colors that I wanted because I'm just and she sort of puts this outfit together. So it's purple, yellow, green, and red.
Yeah, including the trousers?
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, and she heads to the front and she grabs that weird looking hat. Which is
the yellow one.
Like a yellow hat, like a little wide brimmed that kind of comes up to a very long point.
The Vivi hat.
It's exactly that. But it's like a high fashion Vivi hat with like it's like beautifully made. It's like got silk trim and stuff, like all this exquisite finery. And she like puts you in all these things and she says, yes, this would be perfect here. And she brings out a set of shoes. And these are like fine shoes. These aren't shoes that you'd probably feel comfortable walking in for too long.
Right.
But they're nice. And
how do I feel about like fight? Like, can I move in this? Am I gonna be restricted or no? It's whatever.
I feel like you probably don't feel like too bad because although like normally in nowadays you'd feel weird not fighting in like joggers or whatever. Back then, or like back in the old days or in this setting, your fine clothes are made out of like fine materials, so they feel comfortable as opposed to just like crap, uncomfortable hempen tunics and shit that you find.
Awesome.
So realistically speaking, and since they're made so well and crafted so well, you would probably feel very comfortable in them. But you probably look a little, well, you look like a pompous ass. You know, you look like the type of person who's like, with like some frilly arm bits and like these wide
Awesome.
like flares of trousers or something, and these nice shoes, and then this VV hat on top, and yeah, she's just clapping. Yes, oh, you look absolutely wonderful. Yes.
You look fantastic, like a real curse breaker.
Yes, finally. And I just, and does the hat, my horns are fine, right? My little horns fit the hat nicely, Brad.
Sure.
I didn't have to make any. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, wow.
She she heads to the back room and comes back out with like a little notepad, and she just writes down some stuff. Okay, well, that's you all sorted. Eero, are you heading in?
Yeah, I would have headed there after this horrible person tried to get me to hand over my loot to him.
Yeah. And yeah, you step
Just
in.
horrible.
You step in as she kind of she's just sort of finishing up with fitting Drift in some of these sort of super clothes. And as you walk in, she says, "Ah, yes. I wonder, could you be Iridir?"
Why, yes, you've heard of me?
Well, in such that we had a small messenger pop by not so long ago, and you're after some clothing as well.
Yes, I am. Where's Drift?
She just points at this.
And I just turn around in that moment and go like,
Yeah, there's like anime lines around him, just. And she says,
What do you
Does he
think?
look fantastic?
He says that you're after a uniform, and I'll see if I can find the same thing for you. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, it's rather poofy.
Yes. Yes.
The
which is
entire time-
great for a curse breaker.
It's very
The
easy.
entire time they're
You
doing
should
that.
stand out from all of us.
Coming
I
up
think you
this
should
autumn.
definitely stand out, but
We should maybe only wear one of the colors that you are wearing, and then you can wear all of them.
perhaps something a little bit more rugged.
Oh, well, why don't you have a look? I think this area here will suit you and your size. Just anything in this area, you'll do just fine. She's kind of like looking at the other, you other two as well. And you, young lady, you're looking for...
You'll have to forgive me. What do young ladies normally wear?
Well, coming up this autumn, we've got a fine array of noble dresses. Flares are in as well, so the poof is extra poofy.
I prefer flowy, like Linendell. Maybe not so much poof.
Yes, we have many robes for a young, lithe woman like yourself, and she brings over. This is in Lenadelian style. It's just like an absurd-looking, like twisting,
she-
curling thing. It just
Can
seems
she
like
touch the fabric? She's gonna reach out and touch the fabric.
Yeah,
I
beautiful
guess.
silk. Feels amazing.
And how much is that?
Well, this is going price about 250 gold pieces.
Oh, not for me. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Something more in your price range? Perhaps 150? We can find something a little smaller. Less fabric, of course. This is a lot of fabric. Perhaps something that will flow in the autumn wind. And she brings out a thinner-looking piece. Less silk, no arms, strap in the middle. Perhaps it would match this belt. She grabs a belt off the side.
The entire time it's been going on, 19's been flipping through things, grabbing it, looking at prices, and just kind of like his like amber eyes go up,
There's
come back
nothing
down.
in here for less than 100 gold.
Oh my! What about the hat?
The hat probably. The hat is 100 gold.
I can't buy them hats.
You hear me kind of like speak up as I'm sort of looking through this stuff.
Excuse me, Jacqueline?
Yes, that's my name.
I
JP.
believe Lieutenant Boulderdown had said that he would be taking care of this for us.
Oh yes. He'll be covering your costs.
Well, yes.
And I sort of like motion towards Rin, and
So she can take her choice.
Oh no,
As
not
well,
her
yes?
costs. No, just you, Iridir, half elf, and the small tiefling Cursebreaker Drift, young man, be taking part in the autumn festival melee contest.
I'll be winning. the contest.
We'll make sure you don't get those two cut up. Took me a long time.
I won't.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but somehow the message that you received must have been incomplete.
Oh?
You see, we were told that we would be receiving clothing for all of us.
Well, the young man that came by with the message, the messenger boy, he did say very specifically only for the half-elf and the tiefling, and absolutely not for the elf or the warforged, no matter how much they ask. I did wonder it a very strange request, honestly, but those boulder downs, they are, well, let's say they're not to be trifled with.
What do you mean?
Oh, well, nothing, of course. So,
And
how
I
about
sort of-
this piece? And she just
I like sidle up to her. I sidle up to her and I say,
I'm terribly sorry. I'm afraid you might be under the wrong assumption. You see, Lieutenant Boulderdown is paying for our clothing, yes, but we've only recently met him. You see, it's of vital importance that we're aware of any of the sort of goings on that are happening. Now, and I like lean into her and I say, surely someone in your line of work hears many things. Maybe I could, I could leave quite a glowing review with you. You see, I'm going to be performing at the Ironwell Inn for the next several days. I could mention the shop.
No, thank you. It's just, I have quite the esteemed clientele already. I've got all my clients, and the Boulder Downs are, well, some of the most esteemed, of course. They're a very wealthy, powerful family, you understand, and I really wouldn't want to get in their way.
Very well.
So how about this piece? Pulls out the most
kind of-
disgusting-looking thing, just like a pure, just like Pirates of the Caribbean looking white, open with the string thing going on and the fluffy arms and bits coming off the bottom, tassels.
Does it come with a mole?
I'm sorry, I don't understand quite what you're talking about. I think we have some mole skin. Yes, moccasins.
Oh, very enjoyable. Yes.
I'm going to kind of look around for something a little bit less poofy. I think that I'd probably try and find something that is silk for myself, but maybe something like a black silk with sort of like a white shirt. I'm definitely not going for the same colors that Drift is going for.
I didn't think so. Yeah,
No.
again, you
I
can pretty
noticed that.
much find like what you want to find here. You pick out each of the pieces, and she's just like, yes, oh, that's absolutely wonderful, yes, yes. And she's writing down what you're taking, and seems to be making a little list of stuff. And she turns to you, Rin, and says, so you'll be taking nothing today, or
No, not today. Thank you.
maybe next time, yeah?
Yeah, maybe next time.
She looks you up and down, Eero, and you, Drift. She says, "Oh, you look absolutely fabulous, fabulous. Yes,
Thank you, but
you'll be talk of the
Hero,
festival."
Are you not on my team?
Oh, I'm on your team. I'm just not wearing that.
Okay.
You are the curse breaker. You should be the one that's standing out.
You have to stand out, Drift. All
Yeah,
eyes
how-
should be on you.
How are people gonna know that we're on the same team?
Well, Eero will get the hat. He'll get a matching hat.
Well,
Awesome, awesome.
Perhaps these pocket squares here. I can match the pocket square.
I don't know why you don't want the hat, Eero. It's fabulous.
Can't even see the pocket. The pocket square goes underneath. It pops out a little bit.
Will it be the
I don't know.
pocket square or the hat, little dear?
I think it'll be. He'll
take
take the
both.
hat.
He'll take both.
the both, of course. Yes, why not? And
Why
writes
not?
down the thing, and she goes and finds some very similar looking hat, Brings it out and puts it on you, and you look mental. Yes, you look absolutely wonderful.
Yes, that looks great.
Fantastic.
Of course, you'll have to make sure that you're wearing it at the festival.
He will.
No.
At least at the festival.
No, I don't think so. I don't really enjoy this hat for myself.
Oh, then yes.
It
No,
does
no,
look
no,
quite
you're right. It
good.
doesn't look very good at all, and he takes it off your head.
It looks excellent on drift.
Yes, it does. It looks absolutely wonderful on drift. Again, please make sure that you're wearing these items on show at the festival.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Very good. Okay, well, then if our business is concluded.
Great.
have
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yes, and you. And I'll see you again. We'll find you a nice flowing Lenadelian piece.
Yes.
Are we wearing the clothes,
Thank
Brad?
you.
Yeah, for sure. Your other clothes are fucked.
Okay, cool. As we walk out, unless anyone else wanted to do anything, but I want to go up to her and I want to be like, he actually wants the hat.
Oh, no, I don't think he does.
He gave me one of those moments where I think he's just embarrassed.
Right. No, it's just... Oh, I've only gone and misplaced it. Where did I put it? I've lost it.
I'm wearing it.
And she's hidden it. She's like straight up hidden it behind like a desk somewhere.
I wish.
She says, "Well, you have a wonderful time at the festival and good luck."
You lost the hat?
Yes, I've lost it.
Okay, if you find it, will you let me know though and bring it to us? Because I really think
of course. For sure. Please do come back after the festival, and we can see if you can get you fitted for something else.
all right, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel good.
Yeah. Good day.
Bye.
Goodbye. You guys stepping out?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys head outside, and you're dressed like you know, like when you sort of dress your own character in something and it looks just insane. You like in a bright pink, like you can change your own color wheel on the character. And you just make it
Totally.
look
That's
insane.
what I was going for.
You
I
look
wanted
like,
a new color.
like that, yeah, mixed with like Vivi.
So how are people gonna? I guess we'll see how people perceive me. But
I mean, you look like a little pompous prince. That's what you look like right now. You look like a tiefling prince. But
Oh
you just,
my God.
But you look kind of absurd. But for like one,
I tried.
I tried. You are wearing what is known as superior clothing. It's like it's finery. So add superior finery as an item. You can both add superior finery, and for you can add the hat. I mean, you can add it however you want on your sheet, but in terms of basically what you're wearing, it's fine clothes, and it's like superior made. It's just unbelievably good. These are like some of the best clothes in the world, for the record, that you're wearing, and are almost definitely going to get like torn up by like an owl bear in like 2 episodes or something. But that's what you're in. Rin still looks pretty.
Owl bear countermeasures.
Rin, you still look pretty pretty gnarly in your clothes, and 19 doesn't.
I'm super shiny and I
you
look great.
You look okay, yeah. As you step outside, where do you guys want to go?
I just wanted to stop in the leather worker here really quickly, just to see if I can get myself another whip.
Yes.
Yeah,
sounds
go.
like an
Mind- I'll be really fast. I don't even know if this is in my price range, but it should be.
Hold on, before. You don't have the whip you had anymore, do you?
No.
It's gone.
Yes.
It was
Okay.
burned.
That's right.
I think there's nothing left of it. All right, so you're gonna run over to this leather worker.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you run over to the leather worker. He's a kind of like an old-looking dwarf with like very large hands. His beard is graying. It was once possibly a dark brown. He's wearing just like workman clothes, but he's not. He doesn't look like your typical kind of merchant. His clothes look old but nice, like generally speaking. In front of him, there's just a bunch of leather-based things. It's not all entirely clothing, though there is some on there. Some of it does look like armor as well. But you see things like saddles and quivers for arrows, pouches and stuff like that, caps. Looking about the table, roll me a d20.
Okay. Oh dear.
Get it.
I probably would have went in with you too. By the way.
It's not a shop. It's just it's one of the stalls in the marketplace.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would have walked up to it as well.
Yeah. 17. There is no leather whip there. Iro, you are standing next to Rin on one side. Rin, on the other side of you is someone else. And this person kind of leans in while you're looking over the leather stuff here. And she says, if you're looking to stick it to the nobles, I've got just the job for somebody like you. And she gives you a nudge.
I'm listening.
She nods and just walks away. You catch out of the corner of your eye somebody who's wearing like a very long coat. It's like a trench coat, kind of, is how we would see it, with like nice thin fitted boots and a hood. The hood comes straight up out of the trench coat. Over her head, but you do see kind of hair running down the side of it. You catch the side of her face, but it's not a face, it's a mask, like a white looking mask, and she steps away from the leather worker and walks over towards the waterfront where there's a low wall, and she just kind of stands there and looks out maybe 5 feet away from like where you were stood a second ago.
I'll follow. I'm gonna look at Iro though and gesture and show him where I'm going. I'll be right back.
How much are the Rin?
I'll be right back.
The dwarf is just, that'll be 2 gold for one of them, pushing at it and just kind of barely looking at you through old roomy eyes. You head over towards the sort of trench coat hooded figure, and they kind of like lift their head up, and you do see this kind of like long, at first it looks like blood-soaked hair. It looks like blonde, blood-soaked kind of hair, but you realize that it's either the hair color or they've had it dyed in some strange way. It's very red, thick, like red-brown color. And you see this full-face mask as she sort of turns to you, and it's chipped and broken in a lot of places, and where there should be eye holes, there isn't any. There's just an obsidian-colored gem on the left eye area, but she turns her face and seems to somewhat make eye contact with you, and she says, I know who you are, somewhat. You are working with the nobles and this one who has been entered into the contest.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
But they did not want to let you in, did they?
No.
They have no
To the
use
contest?
for you. No, to the city. The
Oh,
guard.
no, they didn't.
Those
No, they didn't.
bastards. The Boulder Downs.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I know some people who hate the nobility with a seething passion. And no matter the tactics, we like to stick it to them. Take from the rich, give to the poor in any way that we can. Perhaps if he is their champion, you could help us in finding ours.
I have to think about that. But you can meet me at the Ironwell Inn tonight, after dark.
Yes, of course. I will see you then. And then she turns away and then turns back and says, my name is Tari.
Tali or Tari?
Tari. T-A-R-I.
Tari. Okay.
And
I'm Rin.
Rin.
Yeah.
Okay. I will see you tonight.
See you tonight.
She walks off into the crowd where she was stood on that low wall. You didn't notice her do anything with her hands, but there is this mark that looks like a bloody K, very small, just directly in front of where she was. And as she walks away, you maybe turn back and it catches your eye, and you see it on the top of this low wall, this lowercase bloody K. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Oh no!
Thank you for playing.
Fuck, man. Pretty Princess was the name of this episode.
Princess Drift. That is today's sesh. Thanks for playing.
Holy shit, man.
Tari is actually a character that was provided by one of our Patreons.
Let's go! I had a feeling
Someone known as San Se Lee, and it's weird because they have their real names, I think. So I don't know who that is.
I know who that is.
But whoever you are.
But now I shouldn't say it because you just said their real name.
Well, that is a Patreon NPC. So somebody has gone onto Patreon and placed a character on your path, and it is Tari, this very odd figure. And we'll.
Oh, and that's so cool. So we're gonna know more about this person, obviously,
next time.
Okay. So cool.
Yeah, good sesh. Did a lot. Didn't do a lot, really, did you? You bought some stuff and got a room and in like the type.
I mean, but it's so
It was
like
good RP though.
It was good. I love it because
I'm so excited. John's farm. We got like to talk to we're having the meeting. Like a couple episodes without like straight up combat, but like
I think we'll see how it goes. There's plenty of stuff to do in this city. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know.
The first city we go to is the biggest city ever. So like it's like keeping the candy shop.
There's a lot here. Join us next week for the next part of Rose Guard and Pretty Princess Drift in its wonderful clothes.
I'm already
and maybe we'll find out what's going on with Tari. Then let's do a quick round of shout-outs and then we'll bounce. Let's start with Mr. Tiger Writer, because I haven't heard him speak for a while. What's up, my boy?
Hi, I'm Tiger Writer. I stream Wednesday through Sundays at 3 p.m. PST. If you want to hang out, come hang out tomorrow, where I'm going to be continuing Red Dead Redemption. That's it.
Boom.
Nice. John Sandman.
What's going on? Name's John Sandman. I stream on Twitch as well. Usually do later night casts. Start at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Not tonight though. Starting back up again tomorrow. And thanks for watching. Definitely love you guys as always. So much fun.
PB.
Hi, I'm Pumpkinberry. I'm here twice a week. And if you check out anything of mine that I did, go to Table Stories YouTube and check out Stygian Gate. That's it.
There we go. Bam.
Bam.
I'll let Whack do the good part of what's going on. Whack's running all Table Story at this point.
Okay.
Poor Whack.
Well, we're both either one of us does it or we both do it, but it's just gonna get confusing if we just try and do it. You just do it. You're better
Brad
at it,
gets
okay?
very uncomfortable when he has to do these, so I'll do it. Hi everybody, I'm Wax Steven. Normally I'm the DM or GM of Doom on a lot of shows here on Table Story. But tonight I have been Eero Deer, and thank you as always, chat, for hanging out with us and watching and making fan art and fan fiction. It's just a bunch of crazy shit that you do, and we thank you for your NPCs that you gave us, except for Brad, because he just hates it and he is a control freak, and that's fine because you need to be that to be a DM. But thank you guys as always for watching and hanging out with us. Much appreciated. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Shill Show here on this channel, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be playing Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. PB is going to be joining us for that. Vito is going to be joining us for that. Myself, Brad, and Jay, we're going to be playing the games and stuff and things and the stuff.
Hecka yes.
So hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow for that.
Yes.
It's going to be fun, and we're going to have some fun twists on the game, which is already pretty crazy. So could just be a giant clusterfuck. I'm guessing that's what it's going to be.
Probably will be,
fire.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dumpster fire. Just expect it. Thanks.
There we go. If you want to watch more Darkfire, we'll see you next week. I think all the daylight savings bullshit is over as of next week, so everything will go back to the normal time of 5 EDT and 10 GMT. Until then, we hope you have a wonderful week, and try not to get eaten by an owl bear in your brand new fine clothes. Also, if you want to send me fan art of
Please.
what Drift looks like,
Please.
then let's just say
I would
will
be so curious.
very appreciative.
Oh my god.
Thanks very much. Peace out. See you tomorrow for the Shill Show. Bye.
Later, homie.
Wow, 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 wow.